I can see the light, but I can also see the bones decay. I don't know what else there is to I'm doing my best not to run away. Sitting throwing rocks across the pavement, hoping it'll cave in and swallow me whole. Wondering how the world keeps on spinning, kinda scared of living when it unfolds. Hard to see the light when everything is dying, waiting for the clear. Thankful I'm alive, but terrified of dying. But hey, I'm still here. Is it that sometimes I like it when I lose control? There's something in it that's so beautiful. Listen, I can see the light, but I can also see the bones decay. I don't know what else there is to say. I'm doing my best not to run away.
You're the night sky trying to make me see your stars, but the dark gets so lonely. Now I see violet, I can feel silence. In the dark's all that I see. When your stars are burnt out and your heart makes no sound, I'll find violet in your eyes. You'll always be my night sky. You'll always be my night sky. You'll always be my night sky. You're the night sky, hiding behind dark gray clouds. I can't figure you out now. I see all blue. There is so much cold in you, and the silence is so loud when you go. I just stay dancing with my shadow all day. Watch the time. I can't find the point where our two paths align. But you're the night sky, I'm trying to see your stars, but I always fear the dark. Now I see violet, I can feel your silence. You always feel so far when your stars have burnt out and your heart makes no sound. I'll find violet in your eyes. You'll always be my night sky. You'll always be my night sky.
get lost inside my thoughts, and when I start to think, oh, the Tahoe closest starts to end up on the brink. I tried so hard, but all these scars, they cut so deep I bleed. I fell so fast from heaven, it's like someone clipped my wings. Now I'm falling, and I can't see the ground. Can we stop this gravity? It keeps bringing me down. I can't breathe, and I don't wanna die. Can we stop this gravity? 'Cause I don't wanna say goodbye. I forgive the pain you gave to me so long ago. Sleepless nights I laid awake just begging to let go. I almost got to suicidal thoughts, but you stepped in. An angel sent from heaven showed me how to live again. Now I'm falling, and I can't see the ground. Can we stop this gravity? It keeps bringing me down. I can't breathe, and I don't wanna die. Can we stop this gravity? 'Cause I don't wanna say goodbye. My love, I'm gone. I need to be strong. The darkness had tried to swallow me. Squeezing I fall, but I hear your call. I pray I don't hit the ground. Gravity. Gravity.
Baby, wait, I know that you're afraid, but it'll be okay if you just stay with me. We can run from here. the greatest heights. Jump down and have a fight. And that's all we'll ever like. But that can never change my mind. When it's good, it's amazing. When it's bad, it's uneasy. I wouldn't have it another way. There's no other way. Yeah. When it hurts like this, ever like, ever like, ever like, ever like, ever like, ever like, when it hurts like this, ever like, ever like, ever like, when it hurts like this, we hold each other high.
Hello and welcome back to our GHN podcast. This is the first one this month. It's the second one we've done all together, and it's the last one before we jump into our general election coverage, which is going to be quite in depth. And I'm going to be very, very busy. We're going to have lots of people on you, but we're going to get not on you on here. But before we get into that, let's just welcome our guest, not our guest, our co-host, Lucas. Say hello. Oh, 1 second. We've got a bit of trouble with the sound there. I'll see if I can get that fixed. This is rather embarrassing. Oops. Maybe. There we go. No, let's talk, Lucas.
All right.
There we go.
Is it good?
Yes.
All right. Yeah.
So,
hope everyone's Friday is doing well, or everyone's doing well on this Friday, and have a good stream here. So.
yeah. Well, I mean, I think we've got a good podcast set up for you tonight. We've got some nice guests ready for you guys. But I think we're going to spend, as usually is with our format, we're going to spend a little bit talking about what we're doing today, what we're going to be doing over the next week or so, and where we aim to be, basically. So, I mean, it's been a busy week, hasn't it? Especially for you, Lucas.
Yeah.
How's the running going?
Terrible. Well, it's like terrible. It's honestly one of the worst. I do not recommend it unless you are willing to put in hours, like sacrifice days. And it's like it's just terrible. I mean, it's the end prize is what I'm going for, but yeah, it's been pretty bad. I'm sure, and it's different because I know Hole and I both run as vice presidents before.
Yes.
And I think I can tell you that running as a vice president or running, being someone's running mate is so much easier than actually being the one at the top. I mean, it's not to say that the running mate or the vice president doesn't do anything. That's absolutely not what I'm saying. I mean, when I can speak with my experience at Ian. I know I helped out a lot in terms of debates and our platform.
Yeah.
And then eventually help lead our transition team. But other than that, the president has a lot on their shoulders because they're the ones with the ideas. They're the ones really getting their hands really dirty to kind of take charge in that. They obviously have a lot of weight on their shoulders. And I mean, it is exciting and it is kind of good to be a part of, but
yeah,
I'm waiting, win or lose. I'm just waiting for it to be over. It is not a good experience. I do not recommend it.
I mean, I can also say from the experiences that I've had whilst running, they've all been not running for vice president. Almost all of my vice presidential experiences have been amazing, but running for president every time has been a slog, and especially back when I ran, because it was a lot dirtier back when I ran. There was a lot more kind of mudslinging and
The old days, which a lot of people.
Oh yeah, there was a lot of.
I would say, I would say not anyone remembers besides people that were here in February, January.
Like
those were times when you had like people like Starro as like front
Sandoval,
runners, Sandoval as front runners, and I like Sandoval. I don't necessarily like Starro, but it's. I'm glad that I think kind of the first cleaner race we kind of had in BC was probably Vita destroyed Sandoval like in the general, so I would say that was clean just because everyone knew Vita was going to win.
Yeah,
but the first close clean election I think we had would be Imperio and McKenna, even though that was a little shaky too.
Well, I mean, no, even that wasn't really clean.
Yeah,
I think what you've got to look at is the further back you go, you start to see. You even get like, I mean, I ran back in March, and I ran in. I ran another time as well, but I ran when I was running for president again after when I was president.
And then
but the first time I ran, instantly, I mean, back then, like it was a lot dirtier. If you were going to win something, you had to make some little sly moves here.
Even like Senate races would go into full.
Well, I mean, this is even before the Senate.
Yeah, this is before the Senate, and as someone who ran like in the beginning of the Senate, I ran within the first week of the Senate being created. Those are fuck times, but presidential races, basically. I mean, Colin won in January, so he didn't really face major opposition even from Hagen, even though Hagen's kind of a dick. But
just to very quickly cut in here, just as a technical point, I am getting some feedback from YouTube saying that the stream might not be excellent condition. If anything, if you are experiencing issues, just drop a comment into the live chat, and I'll see what I can do to try and resolve that. But yeah, I mean, back then it's a whole different game now. Running for president now is a lot more it's a lot more reserved. There's a lot less attacking when it comes to literally putting out rumors and trying to infiltrate other people's campaigns, and those campaigns trying to make, like, you have rumors, counter rumors. It was a mess back then.
And also back then there were only like 2 candidates in the election. There weren't 3 or 4. So it was kind of like
even in the general you had a lot more mudslinging.
Because general, like March. Okay, I mean, I wasn't a Dem in March. I was a Republican. Obviously, but I remember looking over at the Democrats, and this is, I think 2 or 3 weeks after I joined, and like it was like March primary for the Democratic Party was probably the craziest primary.
Oh, it was crazy. Yeah, you had. We kicked off with. How many candidates did we have? We kicked off with 4 candidates, I think.
And I think it was McKenna. It was McKenna, Sandoval, Wonder, and Wonder was like.
Wonder was there.
No one knew who Wonder was. And who's the other one? Was it?
Me.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
It was.
I kind of just.
Yeah.
Because I remember. I remember listening to the March Democratic debate.
I think we'll get back onto this topic a little later, because we are going to be having someone on later who is renowned for their knowledge of the history of VC, so we can have a bit more of an in-depth conversation there. But I do just want to say now, just as kind of a quick sum up of what's going to be happening over the next week. Week and a bit. So Lucas is unfortunately running for president, and
unfortunately, I guess it is unfortunate.
Yeah, so Lucas is unfortunately running for president, which means he's left me with the entire task of running the GHN election coverage. And I mean, I've gone out of my way to make sure I have no personal life over the next 2 weeks. So we've
like,
got
like the old days, like the old
yes,
days.
like the old days. So there's going to be a 2-day break up until the election coverage day, and then there's only a 1-day break after that before we move on to we go to back into the old the current format. So basically, what's going to be happening is tomorrow we're going to do I'm going to run a pre-primary coverage. That'll be having some people who are running in the primaries in different parties. It'll be me and a co-host, a guest co-host, running that, and it'll just be us going through the primary races, seeing who we think is going to win which primary, who we think are going to be put forwards as parties' candidates, and stuff like that. And then just making some predictions on where we think, based on those candidates, where we think everything will turn up in the end. We'll have interviews with some of the candidates, as I've said. We'll have interviews with just some normal people, just to see what their views are on it. So it's going to be a good thing tomorrow, pre-primary.
Yeah.
Then, because the primaries are running over the 4th and 5th, the Dems are having we're having our primary on the 4th. Other parties are having them on the 5th.
Mm-hmm.
So they're running over the 4th and 5th. So we've decided there's way too much going on, way too many people to be interviewed to do that job justice at all. So we're gonna leave the primaries be, and come back after the primaries. When we're gonna after the primaries, we're gonna kick off into our proper election coverage, which will be lots of fun. We're gonna have lots of fun. We are. If I find my coverage here, because we're doing so much. So on the 6th, we're doing a post-primary recap. That's just going through and looking at all the races that have been won or lost in the primaries, the upsets, the victory laps, all of that kind of stuff. Have some interviews on there. We're looking to try and get you something even better. I can't say yet, but we're looking for some form of debate happening on the 6th as well. Then moving on to the 7th, we're going to have our D1 and D2 Senate interviews. This is where we go through Senate candidate by Senate candidate, if they want to, and interview them and just see what their platform is, and try and hold them to account. Just have a nice conversation with them about their platforms and where they see the country going. And hopefully, if we can, we might be able to get a D1 or D2 D1 or D2 debate at the end of that, if possible. If not, it doesn't matter. Same with the 8th, we're going to have the D3 and D4 Senate interviews. Same situation as the 7th. Then on the 9th, we're having the D5 Senate interviews and the presidential interviews. So this is one where you will be seeing Lucas again, hopefully, to be interviewed, and then hopefully moving into a presidential voice debate on the 9th as well. Which will be on this network. Then we have our voting coverage on the 10th. Now, due to the new way the elections are working, we're not going to get any results then. It's just going to be interviewing people. It's not going to be this big blowout thing that it used to be. The big blowout thing that it used to be is happening on the 11th. And that's when we're going to be having our election special. We're going to try and make it run for a good few hours, get a good few hours out of it, good bit of enjoyment for you guys. And at the end, we figure out who's won everything. We're going to have interviews, we're going to have everything. It's going to be fun. Then on the 12th, we have a GHN podcast, like we did in the last speakership election. Just a normal GHN podcast with some speaker candidates at the end. And then on the 15th, we're looking to create an election special highlights thing, where we just go through everything and show you the highlights of the election. So just a quick run through that. I know I'm probably boring you all with all that. But through all of that, I'm going to be here. You guys can join me. All you need to do is drop me a message, and I can try and arrange for you guys to come on and co-host or come on as a guest. We're all about inclusivity here at GHN.
Yeah.
We're not the kings in our high chairs, even though we are in high chairs. But yeah, I mean, yeah, just if you ever want to come on, just drop me a message and we'll be rolling. Also, I know it's clearing up the admin stuff before we roll into the proper content here. We are going to be starting running some advertisements in the breaks. If you want to contact us about those, just DM me or Lucas, and we'll get that sorted for you. We will be releasing a price list at some point in the following days. It'll be in the breaks, so it won't interfere with anything we're doing. It'll just be in the breaks where we have standard breaks anyway. It'll just be there for, in that period of time. What else? What else have I said? I think that's it.
I think that's it.
I think that's it. I think I'm done with the boring shit now. But yeah, like I said, just contact me if you ever need anything. Or need some organs. Hull's Organ Emporium, roaring as good as ever, being supplied by Schlorp's. I can't remember the name of it. Schlorp's Assassins Company. But don't tell the law. Anyway, so we're going to be having some very good guests on, aren't we, today, Lucas?
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's Friday, so yeah, some people aren't home, or don't want to come on. But yeah, I think we're good for tonight.
We will be. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to go for a short, tiny baby break, like tiny, like the size the size of an atom in the length of time. That we're going to have a break just to bring on our come on, brain. Oh, just so we can bring on get their sound sorted. Yeah. Just bring on the guest, get their sound sorted, get everything done so that we can move in to the interview without me having to mess with some tech stuff. So we will. The time will be wrong on the thing. I will update that. But we will be back in about 3 minutes. See you then.
When I'm lonely in the dark, I know you are with me. Yeah. Don't you see that I need you so much? Don't you see that I love you so much? Oh na 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 na, oh na na na, darling, I need your love. Oh na 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 na, oh na na na, darling, I need your love. When I'm lonely in the dark, I know you are with me. Yeah. Don't you see that I need you so much? Don't you see that I love you so much? Oh na 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 na, oh na na na, darling, I need your love. Oh na 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 na, oh na na na, darling, I need your love.
3, 2. And we're back, and as you can see from this beautiful slide that I have created, we are with our special guest, the 1D.
The
I'm
clown
here.
show.
Okay. I am the god, okay?
1D, you are the god.
Attorney
Literally.
General clown show.
Attorney General Christie.
All right.
So, I mean, It's nice to have you here. What did the sex man? Um, we were just talking in the break about. I know it was a very quick break. We were just talking about
Donnie T,
Donnie T with the Rona.
the sex man that has the Rona, which is.
Well, I mean, seeing as Mr. Wonder, you are.
You are Donnie T.
You are
I
Donnie
am the
T.
reincarnation.
You are the VC Donald Trump now that Monty's gone.
Yeah. So what do you think about this then? VC Trump Mark II.
I am very surprised by it, honestly, though. I saw him getting on Marine One, going to Walter Reed, and I was quite surprised by it. I mean, it shocked me. I mean, it really shocked me, okay?
Do you think Mr. Trump, do you think you should follow your own advice and inject bleach into yourself?
You see, I was doing it and it worked for me, but then when I stopped doing it because Sleepy Joe attacked me, I got the Rona.
So I mean, you're saying
Okay.
you stopped because Sleepy Joe attacked you. Did he get to you in that debate? Do you think he got to you there?
I destroyed Sleepy Joe. We won that debate. Every poll is saying it, okay, folks? Okay? We won that debate bigly, okay?
Bigly.
You won the
So
debate bigly. Anyway, let's get back onto
I'm here now.
what we're supposed to. Oh, Wonder's back. Hey, hi, Wonder.
Yes.
So, I mean, both of you, yeah, and I know we're going to have a lot more election coverage in the next few days. I didn't really want to talk about the election tonight, but it's a perfect opportunity. Both of you are running for president this time around.
yes.
Why? Well, I mean, that is my line, isn't it? I
Yeah.
Why?
All right.
Justify
I'm
yourself.
running. I'm running because Corrupt Wonder. Okay, Corrupt Wonder.
Okay.
He is the corrupt New Jersey politician. Me, I am the clean politician. I cleaned up the streets. Okay. And while Wendy was sitting on the beach when the beach was closed, okay, he is Sleepy Wonder. He is corrupt. He's been to jail. So people, I say on the 10th, vote for me, okay, over
Well-
Corrupt Wonder. He's on the beach while you guys are working. I am working for the American people, okay?
Right.
Sleepy Wonder.
Lies.
He is corrupt.
Totally lies, okay?
Oh, we don't.
Guy,
I mean,
that
we've had. I think we've had too many of these shocking debates over the last week. We had the first one, which was the appalling debate between Joe Biden and Biggie D,
beautiful.
and
Beautiful.
then we had. I mean, I don't think it was as bad, but it was up there. The debate between you, Lucas, and the other Biggie D in Big Dixon.
Wait, Wendy was there? No, Wendy wasn't
No, I
there.
was just
No.
watching.
Wonder
was
was
just
watching.
watching.
Wonder was watching.
Oh, yeah.
And now we're having it again here. We're having another
No,
appalling.
we could have this
to-
now, Wendy. Wendy and I agreed we have to have at least one kind of Biden v Trump debate between us.
Well, I mean,
like
you're
just
gonna have
hurling insults at each
you're
other.
gonna have that opportunity. You're gonna have 3 opportunities to do that in the run up to the election: 2 text debates and the voice debate on GHN on the 9th. So I mean, I brought up the Dixon debate, the Dixon Lucas debate, and I'm going to take your words with a pinch of salt here, Lucas, but I'm going to speak to Wonder predominantly here about this.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
So Wonder, you were watching the debate the same as I was. What did you think of the debate?
I expected it to be really terrible going into it. I expected it to be like awful, but after seeing it, it was 10 times worse than my expectations.
Oh,
Both the candidates managed to somehow come off worse than they were. Biden not maybe attacking Trump strong enough.
No, we're not talking about. We're not talking about
Wonder,
that.
Wait,
Wonder,
which
We're not.
debate are you talking about?
We're talking about the Dixon.
Oh,
the
wait,
Dixon.
wait, that's wait, okay, that's okay. Well,
I mean, Dick, Wonder. I think your words could probably be transferable.
well, I mean,
Okay,
kind
okay.
of, but not well.
Okay.
Yeah. So what did you think about the
it was
Dixon debate?
decent. I like the policy discussion which was held, which we can't say for IRL, but I like the policy discussion. I think the debates were very interesting. Both candidates discussed their plans, although one of the candidates dipped, but I mean, you never know. So I think they both articulated well, and I think both had good ideas which needed to be talked about. Of course, some things I disagree with, with someone saying that climate change isn't the biggest threat, it's China, which
That
I
was not
disagree
me.
with.
That was not me.
Okay,
Disclaimer.
corrupt.
Okay. Oh,
Corrupt,
okay.
yeah.
Okay,
So-
Mouse Man.
Mr. Corrupt.
So, but overall, I think it was generally a good debate, and I think we need. I think there needs to be more policy discussion debates like that.
Yeah, I think my takeaway from it was a lot of the stuff that was being thrown around was really, especially more from Dixon. A lot of it was. It felt like you needed a fact checker there. Through a lot of it, it felt like you needed kind of an independent organisation there to go through and in the chat alongside it, fact check statements that had been said, because I remember looking at listening to parts of it, and especially bits that I know more about, such as the British exit from the European Union that was brought up in that debate, and there was just things thrown about which were just complete lies. I mean, I say lie. I mean, lie intent implies that it was intentional. I don't think it was intentional. I just think it was through lack of knowing, which I think it's better if people are watching a debate to not just be informed by the candidate, but be informed by another thing saying, well, are what they're saying is true. What do you think about that, Lucas and Wanda?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I would agree. I mean,
right.
I don't know. I kind of thought Dixon was trying to go for his he was kind of like the sex man Donnie T in that debate. I mean, his policy wise, it was very similar to what Donald Trump's was.
Go on, Wanda.
There were some things both the candidates could improve on.
I mean, I'm not saying that I did like amazing. I know I didn't, but I'm just saying, like, yeah. Go ahead, Wendy.
Like, just overall some things could be improved on.
I mean,
yeah, you go home.
Wanda, I mean, we haven't seen any kind of voice debates really from you or from the left. I mean, the only voice debate that I can remember you being in was one with McKenna and Sandoval.
No,
and you didn't do you didn't do an amazing job in that one. So who would you rather debate on the 9th of October? Who would you rather be debating on this network? Would you rather be debating, not based on policies or anything like that, just based on who you think you could do better against? Would you rather be debating against Lucas, or would you rather be debating against Dixon?
I don't know. It's tough. I could both, beat them in the debate.
Oh, yeah, sure about that.
I'm kidding. I clearly have to redeem myself from March, although I have debated recently, especially with my D5 debates. And
yeah, Wonder won in a coin flip. Sleepy Wonder won in a coin flip. Okay. In May, the D5.
You nearly lost to Campbell, so be quiet.
Okay, I still won. No coin flips, Campbell. Campbell got a 20-minute tour of the Senate, and then we got Gideon in the Senate.
Well, did you call him Coin Flips Campbell?
No. We didn't. I didn't.
Oh, I thought you'd created like a
No.
Trumpish
No.
name for him,
But
like Weak
I mean,
Wonder or
Wonder was. I think Wonder's last voice
Loopy
debate
Lucas.
Wonder's last voice debate was D5 against Sun and her. No, that was Senate.
No,
Sun v Hersey v Wonder. That was sexy. Okay.
And
May D5 debate. I remember I moderated it. Like I think I moderated it. It was hilarious.
There was two of them.
Yeah, I moderated the first one. It was hilarious.
Yeah. I won the first one. Sun won the second one. Sad.
No, Sun won both. Are you kidding me?
No, I won the first one. Okay,
Sun didn't talk in the first one. That's why he won, because it was just you attacking Hersey over foreign policy.
No, it was an expression of different policy beliefs.
Well,
okay.
I just to throw just throw myself in here. There we go. You guys remember the PBN podcast Justice Edition that we had, where I interviewed a few people. One of those people being Hersey. And you guys remember? Do you guys remember?
I mean, I was on the call for that, and I was just like, I was sitting there because like both Esro and I were like fucking blasted. So I was literally just like sitting there, like staring into space, and you were just talking about Hersey, fucking Tuvalu and South American fucking economies and stuff. It was like really stupid. I mean, it it was really funny to like listen to, but
it was good.
And then I mean, the podcast editions also came with the June primary between Hersey and Wonder. That we all remember. We all remember when Sleepy Wonder, Sleepy Wonder. Corrupt Wonder lost to John Hersey.
Weak Wonder.
Weak Wonder.
Weak Wonder lost to.
I hope not to repeat.
Jumped up John.
I don't want to repeat John.
Wonder, you're gonna face another John on the left this time, but not in your own party.
So, you are, yeah. You don't have a good record against Jumped Up Johns.
I actually have a question for Wonder. So, Wonder, what do you think? What do you think about your SP opponent, Wonder? Your prospective SP opponent in Little
I wish him best of luck.
Oh, that's nice.
I wish him best of luck. Just gonna read it.
Whiny Wonder. Ian's got Mr. President.
I don't know what to say.
Well, I mean,
I could say some stuff. I don't know.
I mean, would you be committed to working with? I mean, one of the main things I hope as a takeaway from this election is we've had elections in the past which have been so divisive that the candidates haven't really worked together, or they've left the server directly after. Can you commit now to not leaving the server afterwards, and can you also commit to congratulating whoever wins? And both of this is to both of you.
I will congratulate me. I'm going to congratulate whoever wins and probably won't leave.
Probably won't leave.
I mean, I will. I mean, like I said, I said this in meeting yesterday. If I lose in the primary or if I lose in the general, if I get there, I'll probably take a few days off from VC just because junior year has been fucked so far. And I do need probably 4 days off from it. But I mean, if I will congratulate the winner. I won't throw my hands up. I won't try to contest anything. Because it's not how I roll.
I mean, we've heard from Ian that after my questioning, he has committed to a peaceful transition of power.
Yeah.
Will you guys
wait,
commit?
wait. Let me speak in my press secretary mode.
Oh, okay, speaking of press.
Commit to a smooth transition of power in a free and fair election. Mark the free and fair election. Okay.
I mean, to both of you, do you will you both commit now to having to not contesting the result after it's come in? Because we are having we are changing the election system we've got. Will you both agree to even if it's like a hair's breadth, one vote in it or something like that? Will you agree not to contest the election results?
I mean, also, even if it's one vote, you still doesn't mean you would win the election.
Yeah.
If it was one vote and the person that lost by one vote got more points in the sim, they would actually win. So if it can, yeah, in general, if I lost to either Wonder or Lilburn, yeah, I would not. Again, I said I would back off. I'd probably leave for a few days and then come back, focus on school.
Something.
What if it's tied?
If it's tied, it goes to a runoff because there's two candidates.
No, it goes to House.
It goes to House.
The 12th Amendment doesn't apply in VC.
No.
Yeah, it does. It does, doesn't it? It does now.
Wait, I thought. Wait. Okay, maybe it does.
No, it goes to House even if there's 3 people. They've done it in the past. They're doing it, and they do it now. And I think they would. I think they'd exclude whoever got lower points. Or things.
Yeah, I agree with Morales in the chat here. I think we should just stick all 3 men who have won the presidency or who are contesting the presidency in the Oval Office, and then all 3 of the vice presidents in a room in the Naval Observatory, and then whichever one comes out alive is then the president. I think
I mean, I would easily beat up Whiny Wonder. Okay.
No, you know that I have
like
the Fortnite skills. Okay. No, you know I got the
12
Fortnite
old.
skills, so I can take you in there. Okay.
Your Fortnite skills, okay, are terrible. Okay, I am a better Rocket League player. We all know it. We all know it.
I carry you. You're garbage.
I'm a better Rocket League player. I also work out every day. Wonder is a skinny 12-year-old.
Totally wrong. Okay.
This is a message to the American. This is a message to the American people. Okay, do you really want a 12-year-old Fortnite kid?
$5 million from Moscow.
Okay.
From the Moscow Bear. Okay.
Wonder is not for the people. Okay. He is the bourgeoisie.
Totally corrupt.
Do not
he doesn't
trust
know
this
what
man.
he's doing.
Do not trust
He's
this
so
man.
corrupt. Okay.
Backed by the NRA.
Right now. Okay.
This man is
so bad.
Okay. Do not trust
taking
Wonder.
money from everybody. Do not listen to him. Okay. Do not. He's totally wrong. He's so wrong. Okay. Can't do anything.
Thank you for coming back.
He will be holding Fortnite parties in the White House. This man cannot be trusted. He is a 12-year-old Fortnite player. Okay.
Thank you for.
He is whining right now because he knows how great I am. They just don't know it. Okay.
Thank you for coming back to the Biden-Trump 2020 presidential debate.
More like Wonder debate.
My God, if that's anything to go by, well, on the 9th, I'm gonna the 9th.
Okay, Wonder's child is a drug dealer. Okay, he does drugs. Okay,
no, I don't.
How can we trust this man? Okay, he does drugs. He plays Fortnite. I don't know how we can trust this man.
Okay, so I think after that, I'm just completely blown out. I think we're going to go to a short break. Bring on Wonder can stay, but we're going to bring on our next guest. So we'll be about, again, probably just 3 minutes, and we'll be back very, very shortly. See you then.
When I'm lonely When I'm lonely in the dark, I know you are with me. Yeah. Don't you see that I need you so much? Don't you see that I love you so much? Oh na 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 na, oh na 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 na, darling, I need your love. Oh na 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 na, oh na 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 na, darling, I need your love.
Hello, and welcome back. As you can see from our guest list, we still have with us Whiny Wonder, who has just disappeared for a second. He'll be back in a minute. We also have Jumped Up John, which is Mr. Hersey.
It's good to be here. I did a lot of cocaine before this, so I'm ready.
Right. And of course we have the co-host, Lucas.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, I'm
here.
I've been talking after that whole spiel with Wonder. My brain is short circuiting. So
you know what the podcast? It's a bit here, it's a bit there. I want to be on it, but I also don't. Yeah, I'm here. Right.
Wait, what?
I'm just being you.
What? Oh,
wait,
okay.
wait, what? I didn't know you were Starro.
Well, I almost won the Wait What award in the.
You did almost win the Wait What award.
In 2 straight quarterly awards. So, anyway, go.
Did I win anything on the second quarterly awards?
I don't remember. What was that? August? Oh, we got to do one next month.
We do, yeah. We've got to do one next month. Anyway, we'll move in. So, hello, Hersey.
Hello. Wonderful to be here. Wonderful podcast.
It is. How have you been finding it so far?
It's great. The green room is red, which is weird, but I love everything else about it. And it's wonderful. You got a nice little show set up, and it's a good successor to the old podcast we had going.
Yeah, I mean, if I don't say so myself, I also think it is. I mean, you've been here for how long? When did you join the server?
Well,
The first time.
Actually, well, now that I'm on the welcome committee, I can actually go back and see the date I joined. I don't remember the exact time, but it was January 15th. So I've been here a few days at least.
A few days. You've been here. I mean, I joined January 13th, so I've been here 2 days longer.
Okay, Mr. Fancy, I see how it is.
Mr.
You want to compare sizes? We can go.
I mean, of course, mine's just 2 days.
Okay,
2 days
okay.
longer.
Okay.
So
Okay, Jebediah.
Jebediah, that's my name.
Is it now?
Yes. So.
I remember the good old days when he was Joseph. You kids, you have it easy now. You don't know the hardships we went to having to call him Joseph Hull.
Right. So we have we've talked a little bit about when I ripped into you regarding Tuvalu.
I prefer aggressive negotiations, personally. I'm calling it that, but...
I mean, there wasn't really any negotiations there, that's the thing.
Yeah.
It was...
Negotiating your surrender to my superiority.
Superiority? Right. Is Wonder back? Is he here?
No.
I don't.
Oh, I'm here.
Oh.
I'm here.
Oh, whiny Wonder.
Whiny.
So, I mean, another one of the main things we wanted to talk about here was how you beat Wonder.
This is turning into Oprah.
Yeah.
You get a car.
Alright.
You get a nomination.
So, I mean,
Circle.
what was your guys's thoughts when all of this crap happened back in whenever it happened?
Well, it's funny. I wrote an entire memoir about it, but I was absolutely astounded that I won. I did not see that coming, and I actually thought that Miguel was screwing with us because everyone knew that Wonder was just going to win. That was just a fact of life. And so when Wonder says in a shocking turn of events, I thought he was screwing with us to make us believe that I had won, but then it would be like Wonder. And then it said, Hersey has clinched a Democratic nomination, and, well, to put it simply, peace and civility followed immediately after.
Oh, really?
Yep, everything was peaceful.
See,
I got congratulated. I became president. It was wonderful. I kicked the crap out of Wilson.
See what I remember happening.
I might have been high then, though.
What I remember happening was the entire Democratic Party leadership, including
resigned at once. Yeah.
not resigned, but abandoned you. And the president at
Funny
the time.
how that happens.
The president at the time, what a bellend he was.
Yeah.
He went and signed a letter alongside the party leaders endorsing the other person, I believe.
I think Bo endorsed Jess. I don't exactly remember. But anyway.
Well, you have to. Well,
Oh, sorry, I think I've got the dates mixed up there, but ignore me. Carry on.
Yeah, you did that.
I've got the date mixed up. I did that to Bo.
You
Yeah.
did that to
Right.
Bo, and I think you did it to Hersey as well. So.
I love you, man.
Great,
Yeah.
great
Great.
track record.
With loyalty, you're wonderful.
All right. Anyway,
Chuckles, I'm in danger.
I do want to ask Wonder's point of view on this because Wendy was, I remember, being there, sitting on the bench in SCOTUS,
Okay.
yeah,
SCOTUS.
just this Wonder moment. Anyway,
Yeah.
Wonder, I thought Wonder was, gonna win, and I kind of thought like, oh, if Wonder wins the nomination, I think Jess will drop out. She liked Wonder, and I think I honestly, in my opinion, thought Wonder with the backing of the SP would beat Wilson, and then originally it was tied, obviously it was tied, and then it went to runoff, and I thought Wonder would win that runoff. I thought he would win the original election, but then whatever. So Wonder, what did you think of that June campaign and how it unfortunately ended there?
A complete train wreck. It
Yes, it was horrible. It was terrifying.
I started off. I was, I started around maybe. I started thinking about running around the 24th or so, and you know what? I was like, you know what? Why don't I run? And my first person to come to mind, the first thing I did was ask Lester, and that worked out. And then, events happened, and I totally thought my biggest opponent in the primary would be Thunderwood,
Yeah.
and then
And
he
then
dropped out.
yeah, Thunderwood was just as VP, so
And
that's
so
how it
then
worked.
I even swept the polls, and
Yeah.
then my downfall began.
Holy shit.
Anyway, yeah.
Well,
So I mean, I do want to bring this up. I mean, looking at it from, there were I'm gonna say claims because I don't exactly know if it was like truthful or not. That there was DM campaigning by Hersey.
Well, let me make this
I
abundantly
think that-
clear. Let me make this abundantly clear because I wasn't actually going to, like, I was thinking about it, but I wasn't going to do it. Funnily enough, for some reason, Watkins and Lucas would start pinging me over and over again, telling me to run for president. They would just do it over and over
Okay,
again.
I'll explain that. So basically, I had a thing going with S4L where if and Wonder hates me for this to this day, right?
Oh yeah,
Where,
I don't know why
where
I don't talk to you.
where if whenever S4L pinged me like anywhere, like he would just ping me in like the SCOTUS chats or something random like that. I would ping Hersey to run for president, and I guess that S4L pinged me in the SCOTUS chats enough to where Hersey run for president. And honestly,
it flipped a switch in my head.
It's no offense to Hersey. I honestly thought, like, I mean, it was kind of joke play between me and SRL and other people, but it was like I thought Wonder based purely on merit, purely on the fact that I'd worked with him in the Senate for the longest time before that, and even in different aspects since then. And I was like, Wonder is the most qualified candidate. Wonder, he's a leader in the Senate, good legislature, even though he that month before in May he had won worst legislator.
Yeah, okay, that was rigged.
But anyway, but I thought he was going to be Senate, especially because Lester was a respected senator too. And I thought they were going to have an easy time. But Wonder can blame that on me.
Well, because I knew that it was abundantly clear that Watkins and Lucas they were saying as a joke. I knew that, but for some reason, one of the times that Lucas pinged me, and I don't remember the exact time, but I do remember my thought. My thought being, okay, well, what if I do run for president? And so I started DMing people and saying, hey, I might run for president. Would you support me? And the thing that Brian sent me over.
You DM'd my best friend this past month asking her to join your campaign if you're going to run for president.
Well, so I DM'd, and I DM'd Ryan McIntyre, and I asked him, hey, if I ran for president, would you support me? And he's essentially like, oh, you're running for president? That's wonderful. Yeah, I would support you. And so I created a campaign server, which I still have to this day. I still use it for stuff. But I created a campaign server with him, and I'm like, okay, I guess I'm running for president. And so much shit happened afterwards. It's insane.
I was on vacation during the whole entire.
Yeah, you were in Mar-a-Lago.
I was actually in Florida during the vacation.
In Mar-a-Lago, in my state.
I was. Me and Stormy. So it was. Oh God.
And that was.
I mean, how did I not leave then?
I mean, you I think I remember your reaction to it. That was when everyone was in voice every day. I just remember you being like, I mean, I've seen you pissed off a lot before, 1D, over but this was something that was just like, you were just like, fuck it, you were like done, right? And then luckily you got the HS nomination for Wilson, and then you dipped again when you're supposed to be Jacob's VP. And
Well, it worked out because they became AG.
well, yeah, you became AG. AG Wonder was based.
One thing I want to bring up,
Justice Wonder would have been Justice Wonder. Justice Clown Show would have been based. Oh
which
wait,
is
we've
funny
already had
because
Justice Clown Show.
I actually, if I was thinking to myself, if I did become president, Wonder was going to be one of the people I wanted to nominate for justice if that came up. That didn't end up happening.
Would you have nominated me for anything?
Oh no, cringe.
Probably. Does UN ambassador sound?
I've already. I've done that job.
Probably would have chosen you for something. I would have chosen you for something, but the issue of DM campaigning. Well, at the time, there wasn't a rule against it in the Democratic Party, and it's funny. It's interesting to think that now it's seen as this kind of. Well, it used to be you DM campaigned, you're the worst human who's ever lived.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's kind of this normal thing that happens.
No,
I feel like it's been
No, it
normalized a
isn't.
bit.
It's illegal, and it's illegal in every party.
Except
Yeah,
for
it's only in the general elections.
No,
that really
libertarians,
happens.
I think, banned it too.
Yeah,
right?
they did. They banned it.
It's. I think it's even more looked down because, I mean, obviously in the general, that the server wide, it's not going to be illegal because that would just be crazy. But I was kind of appalled because it was like, and in the GOP we've had that rule in the RNC for a while of, don't DM campaign because it gives an unfair advantage to and since you don't have to be registered for a primary, it gives an unfair advantage to the person that's DM campaigning. And I was kind of like taken aback by the Dems, and especially the Dems, it's not like they were new like the socialists or libertarians, right? Or I guess new were. They had only been around for like 2.5 months at that point. The Dems had been around for since the conception of the server. So it was kind of like, when Matthew was like, "Oh, there's nothing in the DNC Constitution," I was like, "Wow." I mean, I felt really bad for Wonder. I mean, it's again. I think Hersey did run a good campaign and all that. It was just, I think it was definitely Wonder's time.
Well, and I agree with that.
What would you?
And if I'm being perfectly honest, with hindsight, yes, it's 2020. But with hindsight, with what I know now, it would have been better if I had just kind of not ran. But with regards to the DM campaigning, at the time I found it to be a legitimate strategy. But now I'm looking back on it and hearing what a lot of people have to say on it, and then talking to Wonder, and then thinking of it myself, I'm like, oh, I really fucked him over, didn't I? And I think about that, and I did. And I do regret that very much so, because I'm proud of the campaign I ran, but I do wish I just left it to the pure votes. And I think if I left it to the pure votes, it would have been a lot better.
Just to interject here, I mean, we've been talking about DM campaigning, and we touched on kind of whether it's a good thing or a bad thing a little bit. But I wanna hit that point a bit more, because I think it's for especially new members who haven't been here very long. Sometimes they find it difficult to understand why we do things in certain ways. For example, we've had a bit of an issue with that in the Democratic Party as to why we don't have DNC elections, and it's because they led to very weak and very because they led to very weak.
Another DM campaigning scandal.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna come on to in a second. But it's because they led to very weak and very corrupt and very inexperienced things.
This is from go ahead.
Yeah. So this is why I want to touch on this and touch on why political parties in VC don't condone DM campaigning within themselves, but are completely open with DM campaigning in the general.
In generals, yeah.
The main thing is that in primaries, the candidates that you've got there should really represent what the active party are doing. As soon as you've got those candidates and you've got a group of people who are active, who people can agree on and who deserve to be there, then it's a bit more okay to allow DM campaigning, because at that point, no matter what, you're going to get somebody who's experienced. You're going to get somebody who the parties can get behind to some extent. And I think that's the difference with it at a VC level compared to a party level. Hersey, you are the DM campaigning king. And have been removed from positions in the Democratic Party over it.
Well, and in some cases over my refusal to campaign for certain people.
Yes. I mean, we're not going to go into that one right now. But,
Yeah.
That was interesting.
Can you lead us through the events that led to you leaving the Democratic Party with DM campaigning back in... I can't remember what month it was, but it was a few.
It was
I think it was like July. I
Yeah.
think so, yeah. Okay, so essentially, what happened was Ryan was party leader, then he wasn't party leader, so Ladarian was interim party leader for a while, then they had elections, and I thought, okay, well, I think, the hell? Denied.
Okay.
Anyways, so I felt that the Democratic Party could use some new leadership. So I ran against Ladarian,
Yep.
and I was aware of the at the time the rule against DM campaigning had already been implemented. So
Yep.
I decided that I wasn't going to kind of take that route. I wasn't going to do that because, well, I just I don't want to break any rules. I ended up accidentally breaking the rule because after I was doing some campaigning, and I was asked people, hey, I hope I have your vote. And I thought that was fine. And so we end up winning, and I think I won by like a single vote.
Yeah.
So it's fascinating to think about what would have, so much would have been different had a single person, not voted for Ladarian over me. But it happened, and immediately Chuck just started, he was pissed off that I had won. And so then I think Stanny or someone pointed out that I had messaged them.
Yep.
And so people started talking, and they came to the conclusion that I DM campaigned.
Mm-hmm.
And so fast forward a few hours. Now I still don't believe. Now I understand. And I still don't, and I know that wasn't my intention, but I understand that it was DM campaigning in the sense of what the outcome was, but despite my actual intentions. So I think the DNC voted to remove me as party leader and place Ladarian as party leader.
Yep.
And so I ended up feeling, and so in my mind I was like, okay,
Well, I mean, just to clarify,
so
just to cut in and clarify what happened on the DNC side. On the DNC side, we considered your candidacy to be null, basically.
Didn't Alex also? She was DNC chair, and she also did some.
Yeah, we'll get onto that. Right. So
we'll get onto that. We'll
get onto that in a second. Yeah. So, I mean, I think the DNC basically said that Hersey's run was null because during the run he carried out DM campaigning, and therefore the only other person who was running was Ladarian and is therefore party leader. I think that's kind of the thought process that went through. I think I was a member. No, yes, I know for definite I was a member of the DNC at the time because immediately after this I became acting chair and then party chair.
I thought that was Rockefeller who became the chair immediately after.
No, it was me.
Okay.
Okay. Rockefeller was acting party leader.
Yeah. And then it was Ladarian. So anyway, yeah. So basically, we had a scandal as well alongside this, which led to a change in leadership of the Democratic National Committee as well. And that scandal was, which is now we're getting onto it. Basically, Hersey had, as far as we know, spoken to Alex beforehand about appointing her as
the
Deputy leader. Is that right?
No.
Oh, no.
No.
I mean,
no.
from
I
the
can explain
evidence
why.
I saw, I was correct.
Well, it was a single screenshot. Let me explain. What happened. Okay. So me and her were just talking. We were in a phone call, and I had told her because we were discussing what I would do if I won, and I had told her, well, I don't know what you want to do after this, but I think you'd make an excellent deputy leader. And she
Just
took
for
that to mean
context.
that I was
Just for context. Just for
Okay.
context here. Alex at the time was DNC chair and the person running the election.
Yeah. So I had told her, well, I have some ideas in mind, but I think you'd make an excellent deputy party leader. And instead of asking me, well, is that are you going to make me deputy leader? She kind of just took it to mean, oh, he's going to make me deputy party leader. So she then told, I guess, someone, that I was going to make her that deputy. And that's not what I said. I believe that she would have made a good deputy party leader, but I never promised her that position or told her that she was going to get it because, well,
But you implied it.
I wasn't actually trying to, because truth be told, if I had won, I don't know who I would have. I don't know who I.
I mean, you did
leader.
appoint Alex as party leader, didn't you?
Yeah, you did appoint
No.
her as that.
Yes, you
No,
did.
I appointed you as deputy party leader. I appointed you as my deputy. You can check. I can show you this. I can show you because I have it on. It's on. Yeah,
I mean,
I
I
appointed
think
you.
Cole would know if he was appointed as that. Right?
I don't know if you ever saw it, but if you look at
The announcements are still there. I
party
believe.
leadership, yeah, of course.
Here we go.
Yeah.
You appointed. Oh yes, you appointed me as
Yes.
deputy party leader, which is not something I
Right.
asked for or even know was coming.
Well, I think I had DM'd you, but you never responded, so I just went ahead and did it. But so I made it was essentially an offhand remark, and I wasn't thinking that it would have any repercussions because I wasn't thinking that it would go beyond an offhand remark. But she kind of just took it to me, I'm going to make you the deputy party leader. And truth be told, there were many people I could have chosen. It wasn't a guarantee. I probably might have went with someone else, but I don't know. Because at that point I hadn't won, and I didn't know that if I was going to win, so I didn't know. I might have gone with her, but I might have gone with someone else. And I don't know.
It basically all of this led up to Hersey and Alex resigning from the DNC. That's where it led up to.
I had essentially come to the conclusion that the Democratic Party, I needed some time away from the Democratic Party. All of this happened so fast. We're not going to get anywhere if I remain in the party as it stands. So I need to take some time off, and I left the party.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean,
I think I came back a few days later, but.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, you did because you did. You came back a few days later and applied for the DNC and was rejected.
Lovely.
Yeah. I mean, of course you can understand.
The DNC thing was a long time after.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's all in the past now, though.
It's all in the past. It's water under the bread.
What's this? Chuck polls are definitely based. I need to rename this channel. It was supposed to be for my Senate run. Oh, okay. On the topic of the PBN poll, I may be starting to throw out some GHN polls. I know we are getting a little bit kind of over the top with the amount of polls that are being thrown out. But
what's fun? But
information is power. So somebody's asked me if I'm drinking. I've only had one drink tonight, so that's fine. A casual Budweiser. So I think we're gonna.
Don't re-elect Hall because he's an alcoholic.
I think we're going to take a short break here. This one may be a bit longer because we're reaching the hour and a half point. So going to get some maybe a bit of food first. So it'll probably be about a 10-minute break. We'll be back at past, or somewhere near past. So it won't be too long. You won't just bear with us. We'll be back in a little bit. We'll have some fresher guests. I'm not calling Jumped Up John or Whiny Wonder unfresh. I'm sure they smell.
Get these old losers out of here. We need fresh
okay?
talent.
Okay, I get throw an abuse. But yes, so I've just seen the number of viewers go up just as we're about to go to a break. Please stay with us.
Fun. Yeah,
listen to our nice happy music.
Good music.
And if anybody's interested in joining us on the podcast, just drop me a message and I can volley you in. So another person's just joined. We've gone up to 11. We went from 9 to 11.
We're popular finally.
Yeah, I know, popular just as we're going to a break. We will be back in 10 minutes, I think.
An atom in the space of time.
Yeah.
So,
An atom.
It's not going to be that. It's not going to be that quick this time. I'm just updating our thing for
A molecule.
Hold on for a second. There we go. We will be right back.
When I'm lonely in the dark, I I was angry before, but I circled the drain in my mind. I can't find. Don't let the sun go down. Don't let the sun go down. I was angry before, but I circled the drain in my mind. I can't find. Don't let the sun go down. Don't let the sun go down. Don't let the sun go
Sitting throwing rocks across the pavement, hoping they will cave in and swallow me whole. Wondering why my mind keeps on spinning. This isn't how living to me was sold. Why am I like this? Something's always amiss. Can't put my finger on it, but it's there. Wait for it to subside, but my mind won't apply. Waiting for the clear. Is it bad sometimes? I like it when I lose control. There's something in it that's so beautiful. Letting go. see the bones decay. I don't know what else there is to say. I'm doing my best not to run away. Sitting throwing rocks across the pavement, hoping it'll cave in and swallow me whole. Wondering how the world keeps on spinning, kinda scared of living when it unfolds. Hard to see the light when everything is dying, waiting for the clear. Thankful I'm alive, but terrified of dying. But hey, I'm still here. Is it bad sometimes? I like it when I lose control. There's something in it that's so beautiful. Listen, I can see the light, but I can also see the bones decay.
Off we go. Hello.
Hello. Yes, I am the idiot Ian.
Yes.
I mean,
I am here.
this is the first time I've ever been overtaken as the host of.
Oh, sorry.
You come
go
out
ahead.
straight
Go
away.
ahead.
Straight away, you cut me down. Okay. Thanks for that. Hello, and welcome to Back. Of course, we've got some excellent guests for you today. We've just had our warm up act of Wonder and Hersey, and we now have the meat and potatoes of the podcast, with a little bit of dessert coming in a little bit. Which we're not gonna say who the dessert is, but I will say it's a very tasty individual.
Yeah.
So here we have
Not as tasty as James.
Slimy Sis is fashionably late. He will arrive at some point. Of course, he's Sis. He's a busy man, and so Slimy Sis will be here in a little bit, as you already know through gunning me down in the intro. Here is Mr. President, Idiotic Ian.
Yes, sir. That's me.
All right. I see.
He sees.
Yeah.
So I mean, this means we've got both. We've got the entire. I don't think the Secret Service are going to be too happy with me.
Oh no, no, sir.
Having both the president and vice president here.
Just try not to attack us here tonight, folks.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, I mean tonight's GHN, the GHN podcast is being filmed at an undisclosed location, and definitely not in the West Wing.
We're actually in Hull's basement.
We are. We're in my tea basement.
Yeah. I see.
Yeah, I got my tea over to the left. As you can see, we're currently sitting on boxes of lobsters. And I've got my what do you call it when you take guns from people? Basically, I've got the muskets I nicked off the colonies.
We got your butterfly knives there too.
Butterfly knives are illegal. Yeah, they're illegal here. Butter knives are. If you're carrying a butter knife, beware. The police will be not happy. But you can carry a Swiss Army knife. Anyway, just completely off topic.
Yeah.
So how are you?
No one cares about your monarchy tyrannical state, okay?
My country's tyrannical, right? The country that hasn't that's prime minister isn't threatening not to leave office.
Donnie T the second has the Rona, so let's not talk about Donnie T.
Yeah,
Donnie T has the Rona. How do you feel, Idiotic Ian, about your predecessor, Mr. Donny T, the big D, him getting the Rona?
Well, as much as I disagree with some of his policies, right? Obviously, but I don't think it's ever good when a world leader of his level, supposedly
leader
leader
of the free world,
gets the coronavirus. So I mean, hopefully, speedy recovery, gets back to work. But yeah, I wish him the best in this time.
You wish him the best.
I wish him the best.
You wish former President Donny T, Big D. You wish the Big D the best.
the Big D.
The Big D and his wife, Gina. No, Melania. So, what have you been doing, Mr. President?
Well, today was an interesting day.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, that's very, very
yes.
detailed.
Well, at least I'm here. Even if the Secret Service didn't consent to us being here, but at the same time, I'm still here.
They
very happy
didn't have to know.
They didn't have to know.
I flew here. I know. I just got really high and flew here. They
Oh,
didn't even know.
That's good press, huh, Lucas?
That okay. I mean, weed is legal in Sim, so.
Wow. I don't think that's a good look either.
Okay.
It's yeah.
Yeah, I see.
You see.
This, yes, this is what basically goes on when the president.
This is the Oval Office.
I've heard it. This is what happens in the cabinet room.
Yes.
This is how the cabinet.
3 out of 6 people here are cabinet officers. So yes, I can confirm this is what happens.
Well, yeah. I will. We have just been raided by 3 people joining the call. We here have what I was calling the dessert. Well, we've got our meat, Mr. President, Mr. Idiotic Ian. We've got our potatoes, slimy sis. Say hello, sis. Go on. Hello? Is sis there? I've seen you unmute yourself.
Hi.
There we go.
Oh,
there is the potatoes, and we also have our dessert here, which is. I've got to think of an adjective.
Hello.
I've also got to think of an adjective beginning with P.
Poopy.
We've got Poopy Pluribus and Jaded Jacob.
What up?
Hello.
So we've got a big party like the old days here. It's a big party. So I want you all to make noise at the same time, just so we can deafen our listeners.
Oh.
Hi.
I am mistaken.
He's pretty quiet.
Poopy Pluribus.
Poopy Pluribus. Yeah, so I think it's been I don't even know what to say anymore. How do you guys see this election turning out? How are you guys? I'll start off with Pluribus.
I mean, in terms of VC, this election it's different than past elections. It's going to be partly simulated.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see how that affects general rate. I'm trying to think in terms of presidential election history. Let me think. If Lucas wins, he would be the first president. He'd be the first vice president since I want to say George Bush to succeed their president via election. But I can't think of anyone off the top of my head who's done it in VC.
Well, I mean, Lucas has just disappeared for a second, so we'll come back onto that in a minute. We'll ask him a few questions. So, God, I'm really struggling at the moment to try and host with with 6 people. So, I mean, Sis is here. Hello, Sis.
Hello.
What have you been up to? I mean, I'm going to talk a bit more about the FEC in a little bit and about ask you some questions about that. But what have you been up to in the last few days?
We've been rolling out, obviously, all the simulated component stuff, some of the channels, figuring out what criteria will, what items will fall under the simulated component, what will factor in, what we won't factor in, what, passively modifies things, what actively modifies it.
Yep.
So, I mean, you see some of the big things are obviously like legislative history and executive history, what you've accomplished. And then there are going to be the things like debates that are going to weigh into it now. And in some cases for the presidency, multiple debates.
Mm-hmm.
The ads will actually have some bearing on the election instead of just kind of being there in the background. They will have an impact on the sim component. So there's a lot of different factors there.
Mm-hmm. Well, I
and
mean,
that's kind of what we've been working on, trying to figure out how we're going to weight those, which we are still trying to figure out certain things like the endorsements, how we want to weight and all that. But it's been an interesting experience trying to balance it out.
Yeah, I can imagine. I really can. Well, I'm going to get a bit more onto that in a little bit, and we're going to talk about the FEC and the upcoming elections a lot more coming down, especially tomorrow in tomorrow's podcast, and a little bit later today. Who is it I haven't spoken to? Jacob. Hi, Jacob.
All right, so the election. So as I was talking about before, the new simulated election that's been implemented, I think this is definitely going to play into Lucas's advantage, because this obviously isn't his first rodeo with an election. He's ran for Senate multiple times, vice president. Obviously, he knows how to campaign. I mean, like, who doesn't remember that first District 4 election he won? I remember those ads. Everyone remembers.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the added component of all how the campaigning plays into the total pool of points, I think it's going to benefit Lucas in the end. And yeah, I think it's going to be a win for him.
You think it's going to be a win?
I think he appeals to a wider range of voters in VC than any of the other candidates. Yeah.
Yeah, and also we have an interesting mix of Wonder and Carton as a ticket, and also Lilburn and Kyoko as a ticket. They're both socialist Democrat matches and Democrat socialist matches, and we could see a little bit of the vote splitting, like just talking in terms of the popular vote. Disregarding the simulated in that. I think it'll be an interesting one for sure. Especially with the simulated elections. I'm happy I didn't have to go through the simulated elections, when I ran, because that would have put a spin on things, I'm pretty sure. Because but before, with it just being popular elections, it's just a whipping contest. In my view, I whipped all day for that election.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
That was crazy day.
It was a crazy day. It was a crazy day.
If I could,
another fun change with this election, which is going to be brought to you by GHN, is day of the election. The results won't be released the way they usually are, and there won't be updates handed out throughout the day. But the next day, there will be a podcast that takes you through some of the election results.
I love
courtesy of GHN.
Interesting.
So I'm going to be spending a lot of the 5th and the 4th and 5th. I'm going to be spending a lot of most of those days, because it's only the primaries. I'm only on the 4th. I'm running the Dem primaries, so I can't really be doing too much there. But on the 5th, I'm going to be spending most of that day organising the templates and getting everything ready to really punch into and have a really good and fun election night on the 11th. It'll be on. Of course, it's not going to. We're not going to be having our. I don't think it's going to be as long as before. I don't think we're going to be having like 6-hour long ones. I am still aiming for it to be. I mean, this podcast on its own here is already nearing.
It's approaching 2 hours.
Yeah, it's approaching 2 hours. So I really think like we can push a good few hours out. I think it may reach 4, maybe even longer than that. I'm aiming to make it as long as possible, just to really annoy everybody on VC and to play into the drama and put everyone's nerves up and give everyone anxiety.
That's
nothing will give me more anxiety than the April election. That one was.
Oh God, was that Which one was April?
That was the first one. That was McKenna. Yeah.
So maybe it's the one that you became vice president.
Oh yeah, maybe it's that one. Maybe it's that one that I became vice president.
And you became vice president again, and then.
Okay, you see, Dementia Hole does not remember when he.
I mean, I would be for McKenna running for president, but that's a whole other can.
I mean, how many vice presidents do we have in here? We have 4 vice presidents in here, huh?
Yeah.
Yes,
vice president gang.
Vice president gang.
I'm sorry, Jacob, but I keep forgetting that you're vice president.
I do too. I do too.
So our vice presidents here are Vice President Hull, Vice President Lucas, Vice President Jacob, Vice President Pluribus.
And President Ian. And President Hull.
Yes, and of course
we've got 2 speakers here as well. We've got 2 speakers.
Yeah,
we do. We've got three former justices or current three justices.
We got 4.
4?
4. Jacob. Right?
Yeah, I was the justice back in the day.
God, I remember. I forced you out, didn't I?
Oh well.
Yeah. I mean, not really. I mostly left on my own accord.
Oh sure.
Yeah, right. Yeah, me and Monty.
I see.
Justice Jacob.
What a time! That 1 week.
What was that?
But
all right.
I think we really have quite an experienced crowd here.
Yeah, we do.
A lot of party leaders too.
My lips are also very chapped.
Oh my God! Yeah, party leaders. Who? No,
I think everyone
we've all been
party.
We've all been party leaders.
Everyone here has been a party.
Yeah.
We've got 2 Democratic Party leaders. We've got a Socialist Party leader, and then 3 Republican Party leaders.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Maybe we need to kick one of the.
And we also got 4 former senators as well.
And a current senator.
2 current senators and 4 senators.
And we're all former representatives as well.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, we're all former representatives.
I mean, that's a given.
We've all served on. We've all served on the cabinet.
Ian,
yeah, got some cabinet members here.
On the cabinet.
Yeah, I think everyone here has either been in the cabinet or an executive.
Yeah,
I think what we're establishing.
I've only been an executive.
Well, you've led a cabinet. I would count president.
Okay.
As, leading the cabinet.
Yeah, Ian never had a cabinet. Well, wasn't Ian chief of staff?
Yes, I was chief of staff.
Deputy
chief of staff for a few hours, but
okay. Well, yeah, well, that kind of counts.
We don't talk about that.
And this was AG too. No, he was SG.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes, this was FD.
That's why I said everyone.
Yeah. Luca, Mr. Vice President, have you ever held a cabinet position?
No.
Excluding Vice President.
I have.
He has?
I have. Which Vice President are you talking to here?
State and energy.
Oh, he's talking to the actual Vice President. Okay.
Yeah, I'm talking to the actual VP.
I mean, chief of staff, I was basically like...
Okay, yeah, basically we
cabinet duties.
Chief of staff.
Especially when Hull was like, sick. So I was just like...
Oh my.
I was caring.
Why are you oh-mying? Why are you oh-mying me?
Had acting president if...
Oh no, I'm just saying that those must have been interesting times because
I mean, especially in the cabinet, it was quite interesting.
Quite inactive, besides like 3 members.
Oh.
So
yeah, because the executive is so.
I mean, Ian and I like
executive branch is so convenient.
We reshuffled our cabinet a lot. Like,
let's see.
4 times.
Apparently, President Ian had pardoned someone.
Oh yeah.
Just now.
Oh yeah, I did. Well, from my
As you do.
Pretty
from my
sexy.
mobile office while I'm in a
While you're in Paul's basement right now.
an interview.
in
Yeah.
Paul's basement. We're all in the lobster basement.
It's like
the tea
like an
basement.
aide just
There-
rushed down and said, "Mr. President, you signed this." I'm just saying, back to
There's
talking,
there's
as you do.
actually no Secret
President
Service
can
down
sign
here right
anything
now
anywhere at any time, pretty much.
either, so-
Oh, this must be Secret Service hell. You have what, the FEC chair. You have Chief Justice. Yeah. This has got to be interesting.
the
But
vice president and the president and 2 senators and a
Pardon.
secretary in
Don't see-
the basement.
Remember when
And-
Vita pardoned Joe Exotic after the State of the Union?
Yeah,
That was
pretty
based.
base.
That was super
That
big.
was
Just
really
let me go upstairs and just lock you all in and
Oh, well. Shoot.
Too bad we don't have cringe Fortnite Kid Wonder in here. He would beat us all in a battle royale.
No, I'm not. I'm
Well,
not gonna.
I
I'm
could
not
endorse
gonna.
one right
I'm
now.
not gonna battle royale
No,
you. I've got lobsters down here. I'm gonna
Oh.
but I'm gonna cook the room. We'll boil the
Ooh.
room.
All right.
Now, I remember some of your older trips to Antarctica.
Ah,
Yes. Trips
All
to
right.
Antarctica, to the beach.
oh,
Very nice.
and I think I do love reminiscing sometimes. I know we've gone completely off what we meant to talk about here, which was
Yeah, I don't know
talking
what
about
we
the
were talking
elections.
What were we meant to talk about here?
I mean, we're just. I think we're enjoying each other's company at the expense of each other's time and creating enjoyable content for our listeners, which is probably all of us in here as well to listen to. So I mean, there's Morales who always tells me to always wants me to chuck tea in the sea, and to that I say, fuck off. It's my tea.
All right.
Sorry.
Chill.
It's okay, Mr. President. Hold him back.
Oh my!
I
Pin me
do
to
have
the
to say about
Resolute
the
dice.
simulated elections, and I brought this up before to the DNC.
Mm-hmm.
It's where I think the simulated elections could help the Democratic Party.
Oh god, yeah.
I mean, the Democratic Party is doing pretty good right now.
Yes, we
We're
are.
chugging, and I think these simulated elections can go a long way into helping our candidates, whether it be for the presidency or the Senate. Yeah, the presidency or the Senate. I think that would be good.
Yeah, I see that player base, because I don't know about well, yeah, go
It's
ahead.
a really
go ahead.
interesting ballot.
I got elected to the Senate a few days ago.
Oh, what was that? Sorry,
Jacob,
Jacob, start.
I've said this before. I haven't been as active as I wanted to be.
Yes.
I have been working a little bit recently with President Ian on the whole that worm situation a little bit.
I do want to ask you some questions about the Senate in a minute, but pardon me,
of course.
Jesus Christ. But Jacob Jacob, you were just about to say something. What were you saying?
I'm just saying, like, it's going to be a really interesting ballot in the election because you sort of have Wonder, who's like not really committing to either being the left candidate or like the moderate candidate. You have Lucas, who's obviously appealing more to the Republican Party, and then you have Lilburn, who we haven't really seen much from in terms of campaigning, as far as I've seen. So I think Lucas definitely has the advantage of like having a running start, if you will, with campaigning and having a platform almost done.
And being the incumbent vice president, of course.
The incumbent vice president obviously helps. I think all of that will end up,
Well, let's see. There's been upsets in the past.
Mm-hmm.
The vice president was facing a primary challenge.
I think we've also got some really quite interesting. This is me, Mr. Interesting. Constitutional. There we go. This sounds really interesting, doesn't it? Constitutional issues. Because the Constitution now says that you do need a majority to win. So how that will play out with 3 candidates running who could very well split the vote 3 ways.
I did not think.
Oh, it's interesting. Wow. Wait.
We all just
so-
realized we could be heading towards a constitutional crisis.
Yeah, exactly.
How for
Yeah,
that
Huh.
podcast?
because we have a different constitution than we did in the Wilson days, which
We do, yeah.
he won like by a plurality.
Yep.
Like with
Yeah.
47%.
I mean, technically, we've got an electoral college now, which is
Yeah, you can say technically.
technically
because we
with
don't
under
really
the
have to use it.
Constitution. It's not been amended away within the thingy amendment, the compatibility amendment. So it does still exist. So I wonder if a court case will pop
arise
up soon enough, and regarding that after the election,
There's also time to amend anything need be.
Yeah. I mean,
jam through an amendment.
Yeah, but I mean, would that amendment take effect due to the? I mean, have we still got the clause which is saying that any changes to elections won't take account until the next election cycle?
Although I'd imagine, I mean, obviously it could be litigated or whatever, but I would think under most jurisprudence, a constitutional amendment would ride that clause.
So, talking about elections, I think we've got no better person to talk to that about than, of course, sysadmin. So, what was kind of the thought process in building up to this new electoral system?
Well, something that's been floated for a while, and it's something a lot of people have wanted and talked about. I mean, I think it must have been discussed, since dating back to June or July. And people have seemed to be interested in it. And I had planned on, and the FEC has been talking about it and planning things going back as far as having it implemented for the September elections. And just because of time constraints, we decided not to. But with this election, we started gearing up and we decided, let's not immediately jump into a 50-50 system or something different. So, I mean, it was something that a lot of people were interested with. Once we brought it out, it garnered a lot of public response, positive public response. A lot of people have, a lot of people were happy with it, excited, because it does change things up. It's not just a popularity contest. It actually adds a deeper component, and plus people aren't just randomly making ads and occasionally making a speech, or people aren't just debating, because most people know how they're going to vote or just saying they endorse someone. All these things now have consequences, have weight, and just adds some more depth, which is a lot of things, especially for the veteran people that have been on VC want to say, but it also adds a new layer for new people to that incentivizes them to build the legislative track record or whatever have you.
Yeah, I mean, I've been in the Dems. I've been very much pushing people to run, even new people, because our primary system incentivizes because we have a ranked choice system, so it removes the tactical voting. Right, you just vote for who you want rather than trying to say, "Oh, I like this guy, but I don't like this guy, but this guy's more likely to win, so I'm going to have to vote for him." You can just vote for who you want.
I mean, with those things, we've also seen that an amendment pop up in the House as well about ranked choice voting.
Yeah.
So Sis and anyone else, what do you guys like for Sis? What do you see in ranked choice voting that could affect the FEC stuff?
Sure. I mean, it'll add a little bit of complication with scoring the elections, but I mean, that's also something that we've always seen be discussed on VC that really never garnered support back then because the admins were kind of against it. Until people had pointed out there's easy ways of implementing it. But I think that would add a new level of complexity because, again, you don't have to worry about splitting the vote or whatever. You know, parties don't necessarily have to enter into strategic coalitions like we see now, where in most elections there's usually two candidates, two major candidates. Maybe we'll have a third candidate that doesn't really have support from one of the parties. But I think that would change. We might now start seeing other parties, just people running and not really entering into agreements, which would be interesting. So I don't know. I mean, figuring out also how to implement ranked choice would be interesting, but that's not really a huge discussion point right now.
Yes. I mean, I've been deals have become a necessity, and it's something. Being the Dem chair for the last 2 months, and now vice chair, played a role, whether big or small, in trying to negotiate deals, creating deals before the elections. The main thing about them that I've always felt is that they're completely and utterly undemocratic, and that they don't allow for parties to put forwards the candidates they want to put forwards. And I think that, I mean, I'm fine with them at the moment because it's the system we have to operate in. I'm not going to say no, out of principle, I'm not going to do a deal, because if I say that, then we lose all of our seats and lose everything. Do you get what I mean? So if we don't do deals, you don't get anything. It's a horrible situation where you've got to play by the rules. You've got to violate this democracy, to be able to partake in the democracy. And I really think that bringing in something like ranked choice would help to kind of eliminate this deal culture of these smoky backroom deals made between parties, and a lot of secret deals that people don't really know that are going on. It'll help to. One of the main things I don't like, and this is something I've been quite vocal about a few times in the Democratic Party, and I think Pluribus has as well, is the idea of a party committee forcing a candidate who's, say, won a primary to drop out. I think that's something that shouldn't be able to be. That's something that shouldn't be allowed to happen. Because what you've got to remember is that these people are. You're in the Democratic Party, you're in the Socialist Party, you're in the Republican Party, you're in the Libertarian Party, not because you need to be in a party. You're in that party because you agree with their ideals, right? Or else you'd be in a different party. And the candidates are running because they want those ideals to be represented. So I really don't like how, through deals, the members of the party are no longer getting their ideas representing. They're getting, for example, the socialist parties or something like that. I'd be much happier if in the deals that were created, platforms, currently, if we were to remain in the current system, platforms were to be brought in as well, and to say that, okay, we'll compromise on platform issues. You can have this, but you've got to support these democratic pieces of legislation and things like that. But to be perfectly honest, I think we should just do away with the whole system, put in ranked choice. Get rid of these smoky backroom deals, get rid of all this kind of stuff. Because at the end of the day, you're going to get somebody who is liked by the majority of the population of that district, or of the population of the server, which is much better than having a situation where you're getting people who aren't supported by the majority, or who don't represent the majority at all, or any of their views. So anyway, sorry, there's a little whole rant for you. I
personally disagree with the whole ranked choice voting thing, but I will say I was on the receiving end of some pressure to not run.
Yeah.
Which, so part of the reason why some people were like, "Oh, why did Pluribus go to the right caucus?"
Yeah.
Well, I mean, my party didn't fund me. My party didn't support me, and neither did anyone on the really.
Yep.
Officially, that is.
Now,
so me winning, it's where why would I kind of had to talk to my friends and the Republicans and Libertarians. I mean, I joined the Freedom Caucus on my own accord because why would I join the Left Caucus after they had tried to get me to lose?
Yeah, I think
I'm not gonna put up with that.
So I think I can talk about this because it was a deal that was created earlier in the month.
I understand where they're coming from, though. Where the party is coming from. As a former party leader,
it was a bit
give that news to.
Yeah, it was a bit of a mess because at the time the deal had been basically negotiated, that's when you announced, and then that caused some issues, and it's not the way I would have wanted it. It's not the way I wanted it to turn out. I would have much rather have had you completely supported, but it was the choice between having you as having you as in District 3 as our person, as our senator,
I would
or having
say
the speakership. And I think when you weigh those up against each other, one is a little higher on that.
If I could run, I mean, part of me thinks I'm kind of torn. I mean, I did not expect to be as busy as I thought I would be. I knew I was going to have a little bit more homework and stuff, but I just haven't been as active in the Senate as I wanted to be.
Yeah.
Part of me, I mean, I'm going to be serving out the rest of the term. Like I said, I wasn't going to run for re-election because that would be unfair. D3 and stuff.
Not gonna lie, District 3 has some based senators.
It has some based senators, and I think we have some pretty good candidates running. We have Mitchell, who I'm pretty fond of. We have Lee, who I'm also fond of. A little bit biased with Lee because it's my son.
He's my grandson. So,
like father, like son, huh?
Yeah,
like father, like son. Exactly. He was speaker, senator.
Yeah.
He'll be vice president.
Oh wait, Plurvis. Ooh, okay.
Ooh, no. Officially not spiking. No, I thought about running for speaker. I really did. But I liked Graves. I thought he was all right for the job. I liked Broadman. So I think they're both good candidates. Part of me also believes I should have ran against Darian speakership.
Oh right. Plurvis, you almost made me forget about the entire.
No, I love Darian. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
but he resigned as party leader, ran for party leader again, and that put us in a whole bind. You know what I'm saying? It's just like.
Yeah, no, I get it. I think Darian is a good guy.
And the day I wasn't around for when the results were announced because I was mowing, but it's where I was thinking because I usually think when I'm doing this, where I'm thinking if Darian does resign like halfway through his term, I think I'm going to run for speaker, and then that was the test.
Yeah, I think. My point of view was different to almost everyone else's because I was the chairman of the party at the time when all of this was going on, and I was pushing.
Oh yeah, I was speaking with Darian in DMs a little bit. I need to look back at that. He wanted advice on who should pick. All right, now speakers. What I did, I waited if I remember correctly, a day or two after I won to pick a SPT, unless I found them immediately, like I did with Lucas. Yeah, I think I was just with Lucas, and then it took me a day or two to get Wilson. And then with Watkins, that took a little bit because Watkins was originally going to be FEMA administrator. That's a whole other story. Here, let me look.
I wonder how
so
different the
have-
VC timeline would be if Watkins became
if
FEMA
Watkins became
administrator.
I don't know who I would have chosen then. I really don't.
And then he probably wouldn't run for speaker.
Yeah, he probably wouldn't have ran for speaker. And then that
Which is the
been...
entire reason why I ran for speaker. So
shoot.
That would definitely mess some things up, huh? So
I
gotta be grateful for that.
So yeah, that's where I said we can talk. It's where he wanted me to give him some advice on the speakership. I said, "Who's your SPT?" And he said, "Amidala." Now I realize it's where she's got a little bit more active, but from what I've seen, she wasn't very active at all.
Yeah.
So I just threw a few other names out there, and it's where it's like I recommended like Watkins or Broadman, but it's where the SP deal.
Yeah. I think if you, from my point of view, in the run up to it all, like
I want to say lack of communication.
Pardon?
I want to say it was kind of Darian kind of rushed, everyone kind of just a bit.
So
yeah.
I had to. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I can only imagine it was on your end.
Yeah. So like the way when he resigned the first time, right? I was annoyed a little bit, but I could kind of accept it. Right? I was like, okay, yeah. If he's got his own problems, that's fine. I'll just run an election, which I did.
Yeah.
And then he jumps back in at the end, and
it was like a bro moment.
And then he wins. He loses every round in the ranked choice except for the final round, and wins. So it was very, very, very close that he won over Graves.
I have to say, I voted for Graves. Then,
but I'm not going to disclose who I voted for.
Yeah.
I don't like as a member of the DNC. I don't. I've got to maintain impartiality and all that kind of stuff. So I don't like disclosing who I vote for.
All that boring stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, that happened. Gets back in, and then he's kind of half-hearted on running for speaker. So we look at other candidates, and I say to him quite clearly, "You're the party leader. You should be going for it. It's you should be going for the speakership. It's what you should. You are a party leader. It's something you've been aiming for ages. You should be going for it. It's somewhat kind of almost embarrassing of us to be putting forward somebody who's, say, been in the party or on the server for not very long over the current party leader." And that brought him on side, and then he started running for the speakership. And through the deal that was negotiated, I made it clear time and time again to him, and this is why. And if anybody was in voice chat at the time, right? If anyone was in voice chat at the time, I received the news. They will know my anger.
I know you when you're angry. I was like, ooh, or at least in a.
This was right. This is the most angry I've ever been on VC, because I told him time and time again, all the way through the process, all the way through the negotiation process. I asked for his advice, all the way through, and said, if you don't like this, we can go back on it. Right? If you don't like this, we can, well, not go back on it, but we can ask for something else or change the deal or whatever. But he was okay with it all the way through. He was okay. So this is great. He knows what he's doing. He knows that he has to appoint this, whoever the socialists tell him to. It's great. Okay, we're going to win. or if we win, we can appoint whoever the socialists tell us to. It's going to be great, and we're going to have a really happy and wonderful month. And then he wins the election, and then he DMs me and says, who should I appoint as Speaker Pro Temp? And I say, don't you remember? I've told you we have a deal. You've got to appoint whoever the socialists put forwards. Like you can't choice. He said he likes Broadman, and I said, yeah, okay, that's fine. You can like Broadman, and Broadman is a great person, a great candidate for Speaker, and I think we can all agree with that. But you've got to follow the deal. And he's like, okay. So I stressed it to him time and time again, right? He completely understood what he was doing. And then I just get told in voice chat, and I go fucking insane for the rest of the day. If anybody, I sound like a teacher.
I remember that day.
If anybody was in the voice chat for the rest of that day, I went loopy, right? So
I remember that.
I got the news. I threw my headset onto my desk and stormed out of my room. That's how angry I was, and I kind of, calm down, Joe. Sorry, Jebediah.
I have to say, I don't think he really. Darian's not the kind to be malicious.
No. I think it was accidental.
Yeah.
But the issue is, and this is why we took the actions we did, right? We were completely fine. The DNC was completely fine with keeping him on as PL, as HL, and with moving on, right? Just throw back to when Hull wrecked his room. Keeping him on as speaker, keeping him on in the party, all that kind of stuff. We were completely fine with keeping him on as long as he just changed, right? It was a simple change. All he would have need to have done is say, sorry, I apologize. This is the right person. And we could have moved on very easily, and that would have been it. So the DNC...
And we could have avoided like 3 days of, again, nonsense.
Yeah.
Now.
I remember being in the Senate, and for just like 3 days we had nothing to do. It was like,
I mean,
I actually don't think we've
sorry,
the whole speakers yet.
But this has been one of the most unproductive legislative sessions of Congress.
Well,
right.
It's gotten very active recently, though. We've had some very good debates in the Senate.
Definitely.
I think the Senate is writing a lot of bills now, which is good to see. It's good to see. Not just as a member of the Senate, but like as a member of staff. It's good to see people getting active legislation again.
I will
really underwhelming, especially.
I will say,
we had actually received a few cases, but the court couldn't. And there was like 2 or 3, but the court couldn't actually take them because we already had a speaker by that point.
Yeah,
right.
I think.
Oh yeah, Schlorp is suing the Senate as well.
I think
it's getting some cases.
So when it comes to the speakership stuff, I just went loop. I think people on voice chat. I had a wig on at one point. I had flags on my wall. The screenshots happened. My emoji with my head in my hands, and all of this kind of stuff came from that night. So if you ever want me to go insane again and get some good whole content, just drive me absolutely crazy, and I'll do it.
All right, that's on my to-do list. Huh?
That's on your to-do list, yeah. But I think the things that has annoyed me most, right? It wasn't the unproductive session, right? Even though that is really annoying, it's something that shouldn't be able to happen, but did. It's that I've had to run because the Dem chair runs the elections. Not at the moment. I still run elections. I'm now the Democratic Party's election officer. But then the Dem chair ran the elections. I had to run 4 party leadership elections in the space of 2 weeks. And each one takes 3 days. So, yeah, I know. Shut up. What's your name? Son. But yeah, because there was just people like Graves was was house leader for about an hour, and then resigned to become speaker.
Oh, yeah.
So so we had a 3-day election period. Then Graves became party leader, house leader, and then he resigned an hour later, and then it triggered another 3-day election, and it was driving me insane. But yeah, it's fun. It's always fun. Most of the time, and yeah, I think I'm boring people. What?
Apparently,
Quick thing. Could the 4 people that dislike, could you please switch that to the like button? Because
we've got dislikes.
Yeah, we have
let me
4.
see. Did I dislike it? I think I disliked it.
5 dislikes. Oh my god, this is.
That doesn't make
People
sense.
are crazy, man.
Whoa!
I think I disliked it as a meme. Let me check. Shoot, I had somewhere.
If you dislike this video, you are never going to win an election again.
Oh, someone said my voice is satisfying.
People were liking your voice.
What?
I sound like the asparagus guy in VeggieTales that says, "And now it's time for silly songs with Larry." Do you know what? If somebody,
yes, you do sound like that guy.
If somebody,
oh my god, that's so true.
If someone pays me 15 grand in Sim, I will read. I will when I get time. I'll probably do it on the fourth or fifth, right? When I'm not got any podcasts on, I will read the entire Communist Manifesto. Right? If you give me 15 grand, no, I've got to up that, haven't I? 15 grand's too easy. Give me 40 grand. In the next,
all right, guys, start fundraising. Let's go.
Fundraise 40 grand, and I will read the entirety. All how many pages is it? I've got it in front of me. All 52. Yeah, of course I do. I read all 52 pages.
I'll use that money to run for president.
If someone pays me 10K, I'll read the entire Bible on stream. I'll do that. For
you read the entire
$10,000.
Bible.
10K, I'll leave the country.
Yeah. I know. I know it'll take days.
You don't.
I say that out loud.
Do it. Someone pay me.
Just
10K
read it anyway.
Nah.
You'd actually make it convincing. Yeah, I would. For 100 grand, I will read a book of your choosing. There we go. This is how you make money in VC. You just demand huge amounts of money for. Why would we give you money to read it? You were saying. What you were saying. Right. Yeah, because we said don't dislike, so now we're all disliking. You guys said that I sound like the asparagus guy in VeggieTales that says, "And now it's time for silly songs with Larry." What is this? Can somebody explain to me?
VeggieTales is like
oh my god.
VeggieTales is this like Christian, like moral show, kid show thing. That's the best way I can describe it. I watched a little bit when I was a kid.
It's Christian. Like
it's very
Christian vegetables.
Yeah. Like they Bible stuff through vegetables, essentially.
Why does the artwork on it look a bit like Sausage Party?
I don't know if it's still running today.
Wow. Okay, I'd be the cucumber. No, who's the cucumber?
I'm gonna look at VeggieTales. It's been forever since I watched. Oh my god, this is my childhood though. A little bit.
A little bit of your childhood.
A little bit.
Just a little bit.
Wait a second, it is coming. Is it coming back? What duck is this?
Is there a remake?
They're doing something. This. Oh my
Larry Boy and the Bad Apple.
That's disgusting.
You want me to read 50 Shades of Grey?
No.
Well,
sometimes people
Lucas was talking about reading the Bible, and reading the Bible, right, takes
how long
about
did it take?
70 hours and 40 minutes.
I've spent benders longer than that, so.
No, like out loud. Do you really want to talk nonstop for 70 hours?
I do that anyway.
Oh, okay. Lucas, are you going to be taking any breaks?
I mean, all these dislikes. I mean,
well,
I
maybe
mean,
smoke break.
Oh.
just say
It's,
Oh,
it's a
shit.
1-to-4 like to dislike ratio.
Bruh.
Okay,
Not
I
epic.
think by telling people to like, you're making them
Yeah,
unlike.
no, by telling
So-
people like.
yeah,
you're just
guys,
getting
dislike it.
Dislike the
Dislike
video,
it.
Yeah,
guys.
dislike the video,
Dislike.
por favor.
Dislike the
Thank
video,
you.
guy.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
are
just
very
dislike the
cringe
video.
if you don't dislike.
Dislike.
I'm gonna end up with like a million dislikes. It's gonna be fine.
What's the most disliked video on YouTube? Let's go.
Yeah.
Oh,
All right. We've been almost going on for 3 hours.
Let's make it
Try
to
to set a
10.
record.
we could do that, huh?
You've got me. I'm really tempted. I went on Amazon Prime, typed in 50 Shades of Grey, and was gonna start reading the a little bit of it, but I've
All of a sudden, the podcast gets very, very much more intriguing.
yeah. Yeah, maybe not 50 Shades.
Hopefully we'll get some likes from that,
Yeah,
Oh.
I mean, he's taking the team.
Will you give Hull his likes if he reads the sample of 50 Shades of Grey?
Yeah, but if I read the sample of 50 Shades of Grey, will you turn
No, we
our
should read
dislikes
the,
into
I
likes?
will pay $2,000 in VC.
We should
money
read the
if
Democratic
you do that.
strategy.
The democratic
Oh yes,
strategy.
yes,
Democratic
that is the greatest piece of literature ever.
If you don't know what the Democratic strategy is, you're cringe.
Oh,
Very.
It is the greatest. It is literally the greatest memoir / theory / book / whatever the greatest piece of literature ever created. Okay, and if you don't know what it is, you're cringe. It's made by Minecraft man Vedant.
Oh God, it
who
was
else?
that.
How does it not have the New York Times bestseller thing? It should. Like, how is
Because
it
he
not a
lives in
bestseller?
India. It has the New Delhi bestseller.
The New Delhi
Right,
Times.
right.
New Delhi.
It's like Krishnu.
Krishnu.
Krishnu is in Yellowland. Sorry.
Krishnudes.
The don't get me started.
Oh, Vedant.
Freedom
Vedant.
Land. Oh wait.
Vedant loved me. Vedant was my biggest fan.
Yeah. Are you sure about that though?
What the?
But Plur was just like freaked out.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna write a Dr. Seuss version of the Democratic strategy.
Oh my, Son has just said 50 Shades of Grey, Chapter 1. Oh, I moaned reading it. I moaned it. 1 minute. Oh, I
think he's
moaned
quoting the
in
first
the-
line.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's the first line.
Yeah.
Right, how am
Really?
I going from right? I've currently got VeggieTales typed in, and now I'm typing in 50 Shades of Grey. If I'm going from a Christian,
Like, who else has seen VeggieTales in this chat?
I have.
Jacob?
I
have.
You have.
I remember.
Isn't that a right? Isn't
I
that?
don't
I,
know.
I remember I think it's like a book, and then I remember like the audiobooks that I would get at like the
VeggieTales
the
is a
libraries.
book.
It was a book.
Like the little vegetable people, like like Larry Boy or whatever.
vegetable
Like,
people, you can't call them that.
Well, I will.
They had books too.
Hold on, let me look this up. I didn't know it was a book. No way, it's a book.
No, like
This doesn't
it's
get
like
in that book.
it's just like kids book. It's not like
What's a kid's book?
like a book. It's not
Was
based
the
on.
show based off the book?
I don't think so.
Okay, I was gonna say.
VeggieTales
I don't
I'd
remember.
say it's based off the Bible.
What's based off
Oh.
the Bible?
It is biblical.
Yeah.
Yes,
VeggieTales
it
is
is.
super biblical. Yeah.
VeggieTales Bible storybook. Hardcover.
it's-
Can I
it
look
is.
inside?
Yeah, I remember watching this a little bit when I was a kid.
This is quite strange. Here we go.
I'm
Bible
not a
storybook.
very religious person.
Join Bob the
Yeah, this is-
Tomato, Larry the Cucumber, and all your VeggieTales friends. Oh, sorry, VeggieTales are friends. As they share 21 favorite Bible stories. Based on the popular videos, this Bible storybook combines VeggieTales humor with great lessons. Kids will love reading these classic VeggieTales stories and the scripture sections that go along with them. From the New International Reader version. Have fun whilst learning Bible stories and the important message each one brings. Sunday morning values, Sunday morning fun.
Yeah,
There you go.
Well, that sounds like a fun time if I had to say so.
I remember it's where I think this store's still around. It's where it's like this. I want to say Christian, like, toy shop. That's the best way I can describe it.
Christian toy shop.
So it's like this Christian store. That's where they have like Christian music, Christian, puppet. It was yeah. And then you see like the VeggieTales stuff. It's like it's based. You can grab the VeggieTales stuff.
Oh my god!
Yeah, VeggieTales is good. I like it.
My name.
I'm looking it up right now.
My name is Vedant. I've been on this server long enough to exactly know what goes on behind the scenes, and will now tell you about some of the greatest mysteries that the Democratic Strategy Group orchestrated.
The greatest opening to any piece of literature of all time. Okay, there's.
If someone can get, if someone can get me
the Don's autograph.
No doubt, no doubt.
If someone can get me
the
copy, can somebody send me a link to it and I can?
Yes, I can.
I got you.
Okay. As much as good as the Democratic strategy was, Helvin's memoir was by far the funniest.
Here we go.
Helvin's memoir was too good.
So where were we? We were at okay.
All right, let's go around and read this.
I started out on this server as a hopeful person looking to grab power on the server. When I joined the server, the first post that I ran for was that of UN ambassador. After a really heavy hearing that was fueled by Hagen for no apparent reason, I was dismissed due to me being new in his eyes. Regardless of that, I was appointed policy advisor and was part of the cabinet. And after that, I began my everlasting will for power.
All right, I'll take the next paragraph. I'm going to try to keep these as brief as possible and only tell you about our greatest successes and masterful exploits. Additionally, I'm not going to hold back on telling you about the worst people on the server from both parties. So let's get into the biggest achievements of the group known as the Democratic Strategy.
I'll take the next one. We started off as an innocent group that was actually Democratic Strategy for the Whips. At the time, this included Stara, VP, Allen, Whip, Vita, Whip, Atachi, Whip, and me. I was also a Whip at the time. This was used to normally whip.
Do you want me to say the next one?
Go for it.
We'll keep going in this cycle. Then soon, it took a more sinister turn. When, with a stroke of luck, Colin resigned. We sort of became a campaign server for Starro. At this time, we did a lot of things, but none of them illegal.
Would you like to go for it, sis?
Sure. I'm ridiculed these days about my bids.
Wait, you've got to start.
You've got to read. You've got to start with the chapter.
Yeah.
Chapter 1, Don. I am ridiculed these days about my bid for impeachment and my votes of no confidence. But let me tell you about my very first vote of no confidence.
The saga of Don's removal as party leader. During this time, Don was a completely different person compared to who he is now. Don has completely changed and has become a much better person than who he was in the server before. The main reason this happened was because of Don's absurd outside server rule.
Essentially, we made drafts to remove Don as party leader and posted it. Don thought it was a collusion, and he was right. But of course, he was wrong about who I was colluding with. He thought it was Hull, but Hull was just a wild card that came out of nowhere. After Hull put so much pressure on Don, he finally resigned. After that, I was kicked because Don thought I was an alt.
This was the old Don, and I had nothing against him. He is now one of the best admins and an extremely responsible individual on the server. This was one of my very first exploits on this server.
Chapter 2. Sean. Holy shit, he was a dumbass. Sean was a really big dumbass. And the single reason the Democratic Party is in the shitty state is because of gross mismanagement of Sean by everyone. Sis?
Both I and this guy you may not know about, Alan, who was a VP for a day, Lamo, he resigned with this. The best message on the server, by the way. We both were friends at the time, and I still have no idea why he left. And screenshot of this. Ladies and gentlemen, I must come clean. I was involved in a scandal. I don't want it to blow back on the president. I engaged in a giant orgy with every single member of the Republican Party. It was a blast, but it was wrong, and as some members are trying to blackmail me. Mostly the members that didn't know what they were doing. I feel awful for their wives. But I digress. Rather than leaving in disgrace, I will leave this office dignified. I am very excited about the future of this party and country. There are better VP candidates than me. I'd recommend at Vice Speaker Itachi or at President Hull. They are upstanding members of this body and would never do what I did.
Somebody better misquote that, so get on that. We manipulated multiple people to really fuck with Sean. It sells like not a tank whose only task was to kamikaze and attack Sean at every step of the way.
Sean did so much shit on the server, like the independent switching thing, and the fact that he had multiple alts who just joined and supported him was insane. What annoyed me more than the fact that Sean did was the fact that everyone seemed to support it.
I knew what exactly Sean was doing. That's wrong grammar, by the way. He was using a VPN and noting down names of extremely inactive users. He then cleared the cookies and inputted the name of an inactive user and voted for himself. Now, I get into my illegal acts. It doesn't matter because I won't be self-incriminated, as I have been granted immunity by Don. And then there's a screenshot. Just added Rockefeller in. Thanks for noticing that. As for immunity, you got yourself a deal as long as you tell the whole story without leaving anyone out of what I presume to be crimes or undesirable actions. Correct me if I'm misreading you there.
Now, my group, which consisted of all the names previously mentioned, but like Vita and Alan left, I think, and 2 new additions. Sandoval, who was Staro's pick for vice president, and Waffles, you was an advisor and graphic designer for Starro. Knew about the manipulation, but their main role was to make ads and distribute them, and they had no idea what I was doing.
So essentially, I was bugging for a fight, so I did the most obvious thing to make and find evidence regarding Sean's electoral scams, and that was to make fake oblivious votes to make sure the admins find Sean's fake votes. Surprisingly, they didn't notice, so I made a bogus case, which led to an injunction, which led to no action whatsoever. The worst part about the whole thing was that Starro won, but then somehow Sean got Colin to reverse the vote in his favor. He said it was because 1 vote was removed by mistake, but the thing was that Starro had a 2-vote lead.
Oh. It doesn't really matter anymore, to be honest. After that, Sean posted a screenshot of Wilson offering him a cabinet position, which is highly illegal. I did not really like Sean, but I thought it would be a fun case to take off after getting the first injunction of the server, which was given to me by Sandoval, a member of our group.
At one point of time, we controlled all 3 wings, even though it was a very short time. One of the best parts to this was that all of the people in the group were heavily involved in this all. Everything from shady, unethical bullshit to high crimes and collusion. And one of the group members is now an admin. This group member, who is also an admin, Itachi, was actually one of our main spies during the Sandoval presidency bid.
The thing was that many people obviously knew that Starova and Sandoval was a group because of how close we stuck together, because we had additional people like Itachi who people had no idea of even putting together with us. This is one of my favorite lines from Itachi. Quote, "If push comes to shove, we will bury him gladly," unquote.
Well, he's an admin now, and no one knows about all the shady shit he was involved in and didn't report. Everyone else on that group is great, but from the start, I never really liked Itachi, because unlike everyone else on the group, he was always planning and kissing ass to make sure he always stays in power. Because if there's one type of person that I hate more than a follow you to death type, is the always sucking up to everyone to stay in power type. And oh boy, there are loads of them on this server.
Because if there's one type of person that I hate more than
we've just done that. We've just done that one. It's chapter 3.
My bad. Oh, right. Chapter 3, the Sandoval bid for presidency. After the primary show, we wanted to get back in power, so we put up the most obvious presidential ticket, Sandoval Waffles. Waffles is one of the most loved people on the server. That is for obvious reasons. He's an epic guy and was the only one who brought some sense of ethics to our group of manipulators. At that time, he was also part of Hull's and then McKenna's campaign, where we pressured him to give us screenshots, and that resulted in pure gems like the undermining one.
But overall, Waffles is a great guy, and I'm sorry for even involving him in this. He did literally nothing bad. But TBH, we didn't do any illegal stuff during his bid for presidency. And only highly unethical stuff, like getting copies of the straw poll and spying on opponents. Overall, here is a list of all the illegal things we did. Vedant, fake votes, collusion. Sandoval, collusion. I think one alt. Starro. He talked about alts, but I don't know.
The funniest part was that there was a dumb impeachment thing by Cross, which was orchestrated by Hull as Sandoval didn't listen to him and didn't give up his SCOTUS seat that Hull very desperately wanted. It accused Sandoval of collusion and abuse of power, which is funny because they didn't see the obvious one, but accused him of something we didn't even know and we even do, LMAO. Now here's my review of some of the most active people on the server. I think we can go one by one here.
Can we just read out the ones, if there are of ourselves? Oh, I think there's only one. Can I read out my own then? Oh, and Purvis as well. Hull. Two-faced hypocrite who is an Imperial Britain supporter.
I mean, is he? Well, the Britain part, maybe.
Yeah. All right, Jacob want to go
the
next?
imperialist.
Does anybody want to take?
Jacob, go.
Which one should I do?
Purvis.
Well, just go down
the list now. You're running mate, you know.
Pluribus, a dumb poster maker who doesn't understand how leadership works. Oh my.
I think
that one was harsh.
Who's next?
Get you.
Hey.
Go.
Well, after Jacob told, but you already went, so it's Sis.
Yep.
Pete is a 13-year-old kid who can be bent into shape by anyone's hand. That's not nice.
I expect that to also be misquoted.
Mm.
Thunderwood. He's overall a cool guy. I don't like his political views, but he's an epic guy.
You got the short one. Bo, extremely chill guy.
Am I up?
Yep.
Hull is.
No, it's Jacob. No, it's Jacob.
No. Well, we changed the order up.
Put Jacob.
It doesn't matter.
Mike, epic whip, epic guy.
Lonely. I have no idea who he is, but Lamau, his rants are so good.
James, cool guy, don't know him much.
McKenna. One time he thought I wasn't in voice chat. He was talking shit about me. Ooh.
Oh. Everyone else is okay, I guess. Republicans, S4L, extremist old dude who is really bad at being a mod.
Imperio, probably one of the best people on the server.
Oh, Hull's got to do this.
My wonderful and glorious husband, Lamontagne, fat, racist, bigot.
The line we know all too well.
No, you got to do it in the Indian accent. Fat, racist, bigot.
Right? Go on. No, you can't. Right. You can't make me do it in an fat, racist, bigot.
Oh God. Okay.
Cancel Hull.
Hull's already been cancelled.
You finish it off, Sis.
There is no one else there. I guess that is my tale on the server. Had fun here. It's boring now, so enjoy this. My gift to the server for hours of fun. Signing off, Vedant.
Wow, what a beautiful piece of furniture.
Beautiful. Yeah. Just beautiful.
That is
what a time.
That was glorious.
Right.
I'm so glad that we spent the last 10 minutes reading out.
Kelvin's memoirs are pretty funny.
I don't know if I've read it. Hold on.
Well,
I can't really remember.
They're just a bunch of screenshots. Hold on, let me find it.
I definitely read this.
Chuck messaged saying, Chuck, if you've got something you want us to read, just DM at me and I can.
Yes.
I'd be
Here it
down
is.
to do
Here it is.
another book
Here it
or
is.
whatever.
We should do this one. The Helvin memoir. We should do the Helvin memoir. Hold on. Let me pull this up here. I'm just saying. Oh yeah, Tosh is correct.
Oh, it's from Zaza. Oh. Can I read? Oh, can I read? Can I read this?
Zazzer cease and desist
Yes.
thing.
Do you want me to read it? Can I read this, please?
That's his favorite.
What a character.
Cease and desist letter. Dear people of Virtual Congress Discord server, you are using a work that I own the copyright of. The name of the work you are using, the name of the work involved is Zaza text and Zaza logo. It appears on a Discord server operated by you at Virtual Congress Discord server. I have reserved all rights to this work, which was first registered with the United States Patent and Trademark Office on the 2018-09-02 at 4/27/24. Your copying and use of my work, which appears at the link above, is unauthorized. You neither asked for nor received.
Paragraph.
Oh yeah, sure. Go on.
Nor receive permission to use this piece, nor to make or distribute copies of them in the manner you have. Furthermore, you have taken credit for my work and caused confusion as to whom the original author of the work is. Therefore, I believe you have willfully infringed my rights under 17 U.S. Code 101 and could be liable for statutory damages as high as $100,000.
Who wants to take the next? Sis, do you want to take the next? Or do you want to take the last bit?
Sorry, I was reading something else. What are we reading?
The cease and desist.
I don't have a copy of that handy.
Okay.
I do.
Somebody send it. I'll read the next bit and then, or Ian can if he wants.
Further, such copyright infringement is a direct violation of the Digital Millennium Copyright Act and the international copyright law. I demand that you immediately cease the use and distribution of the work and all copies of it, that you remove any further works you may have stolen, and that you desist from this or any other infringement of my rights in the future.
Do you want to finish it off, Sis?
Rights in the future. Furthermore, I demand that you post an apology on the site clarifying who the real author is, and that you inform others that I might have been misled by your misuse of the work's origin. If I have not received proof of compliance from you within 72 hours, I shall consider taking the full remedies available to rectify the situation, including contact my lawyer and or your site's administrators. The man, the myth, the legend himself.
Zaza.
Alright.
What?
Alright, now...
Now time for 50 Shades of Grey. So,
So...
Oh no.
Have we reached the
3
hour point yet?
Wrapping up, because it's been 3 hours.
Have we actually? Right, we're 5 minutes off the 3 hour point. We've got to reach it. We've got to fill these last 5 minutes with some stuff.
Helvin Memoir, I'm telling you, it's funny as hell.
You want to finish off with the Helvin Memorial?
Yeah.
Memoir, sorry. Okay, where is it?
I posted it in here.
All right, yeah. Let me have a check.
No,
Helvin's memoir. My God, let's have a look. I remember Antonio's memoir as well. That was quite funny.
Aiden's memoir I'm not going to post because, I mean, his memoir he sent to me that I don't think he released to anyone.
No, he sent it me as well. Okay, should we go the same process?
Yeah.
It was Ian to kick off, I think, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Helvin's memoir. This is my story on Virtual Congress. I'm going to be exposing everyone's bullshit in this one letter. This is a big fuck you to everyone who has wronged me. And you know who you are, so stay scared.
Alright, Chapter 1, When I Began, Dawn.
I found VC around the end of last year. I remember looking for underage dating roleplay servers on Discord. Then under roleplay, I found something called Virtual Congress. Now there are 3 things I love most in this world: God, politics, and roleplay. And I get 2 of those in one server, and was like me coming from school and my father not beating me. Holy fuck. Alright, Jacob.
I'll let someone else take this paragraph.
I joined the server, and a few things caught my eyes. First, I noticed this sexy-ass admin called Don. His eyes were beautiful, his lips were fresh, his hair smooth. Second, I noticed how there were only 3 parties. I moved to change that with my amendment. This made Don unpleasant. He refused to put up my amendment to a vote, and DM'd me, insulting me. Here are the screenshots to prove it. I hate stupid little fucks like you, thinking they're so smart with their dumbass legislation. I hope your father beats you. Hev Eagle. ... He does. ... Don. Haha, fucking good. I would ban your pathetic ass, but it's a waste of my time. Stop DMing me, you little piece of shit. I'll just do the last line as well. Don is my first target in this story. He made fun of my abuse, so I want everyone to know how much of a prick he is.
Chapter 2, After First Elections, Emma. Don scared me, but soon I got DM'd by someone named Emma, then called Sufang. Emma, despite being a communist, was really sweet and nice to me. We talked a lot in DMs, and I got to know her personally. That all changed when Sean joined the server. Sean's first bill was known as the Blue-Green Deal, and it was a tax on plastic bags. It became a highly fought-after bill, and Emma supported it, and I was against it. When I whipped against it and her for it, and it failed, she hated me. Sufang, Helvin, I thought you were cool. Hev Eagle, what do you mean? Sufang, you voted and even whipped against the bill. You suck. Hev Eagle, it's just a fake bill. Sufang, screw you. I can't believe that I got all closed and it went away over this server. I lost a friend, but things only got worse.
Chapter 3. The first Republican president, Wilson. Daddy Schmurd Chains. www.pornhub.com. Heavy Eagle. I copy and pasted it and it leads to nowhere. IP. Heavy Eagle. My IP. Daddy Schmurd Chains. Now listen here. You are going to be my VP and you are going to get the Republicans to nominate no one. And if you fucking don't, I'll post your IP on our Paul. This is a long run. So, after I cried about Emma, I hated Sean for what he had done, and I wanted him destroyed. Sean ran for president, and I got the nomination. Everyone was hoping for Mac to run, but she left, so I thought Wilson would make the best replacement. I DM'd him, and he said sure. We worked together on a campaign, and I eventually told him what happened with Emma. We grew very close, even a little too close. Sometimes we would RP sexually in DMs, as shown in the screenshots.
Alright,
I love how you left that for Lucas to do.
The Zilks softly pulls pubic hair. Heavy Eagle moans. Everything was great until one day he asked how I looked like. The Zilks. Hey, I was wondering how you look.
Oh no!
Oh my god! No.
You started it. You got to finish it.
The Zilks. LMAO. You're
Come on. Come on.
You're
Come on.
black. Holy fuck! I was doing that with a. Oh no! I was doing that with
Porch monkey
racial
is
slur.
the word.
I'm not saying that.
I didn't even know it
Why
was
the
a slur.
fuck are you saying this? Listen. And then the Zilks. Listen here, you 70 IQ N-word. Hold on. Thanks out. You're still going to work on my campaign as my slave, and if you don't, I will post your face in VC. Oh my god, that was fucked. Anyway, he fucking blackmailed me into helping his campaign, and he showed no remorse at it at all. He called me the N-word. He threw away everything we had. I had nothing.
Chapter 4.
Wait, Is Hilton black?
Helvin's like
yeah.
half.
Yeah.
Oh.
Chapter 4, running as vice president. Vita. Time had passed, and I was getting over the heartbreak from Wilson. I was talking to Vita, and he pulled an Underwood. That's why I betrayed my party, and that's why the Republicans nominated no one. I think there's supposed to be a screenshot there, I'm not sure. And on the topic of the Republicans, I had to do disgusting shit to do too. I'm going to do a miney call out here. Monty has a yiff fetish. His dick is very small and he only has one nut. Imperio cooked me. He fucked my mom and my girlfriend, same person, right in front of me, making me suck my own cock in the corner. But there is more to Imperio. Sis?
Sorry, I'm getting signed joke with some VC stuff. After all this, I wanted to be gone with VC, but Imperio is a smart guy. I don't have evidence for this one since he did the communicating over Google Doc, but he threatened to share my nudes if I didn't help him. I did my best, but he failed. He then killed my mom in retaliation. He then flexed on me when I threatened to leave. Heavy Eagle, it will be dank. Imperio, you're gay for leaving. Heavy Eagle, I'm very gay. Imperio, never mind. You're a big furry for leaving. But I am done. Goodbye.
I think Ian should finish it off here.
Oh, wait, there's more.
Yeah.
Wait, so on the last page, right?
Yeah, the very last page.
Like,
yeah.
paragraph.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I wanted to give it one more shot, but then the fucking admin muted me. I can't stand VC anymore, so I'm going to do more than just leaving. I'm going to join fucking ISIS and commit mass jihad and unite the world under Allah. When I find you, you better be praying to Allah, you bastards.
And that brings us really quite nicely up to the hour, I think.
Yeah.
My God, what the? Pardon my not English. No, it is English, French, or whatever. What the fuck was that?
It's the best. I'm telling you, that was the best memoir in VC. But all right.
So I think we can. If I let me just check. I think we've reached the 3-hour point here. Yes, we have.
Yeah.
So
It's 11 o'clock.
Hey Abdullah. So what I'm going to say is, I think we're going to wrap up here with Hectic Hull, Lame Lucas, Idiotic Ian, Slimy Sis, Jaded Jacob, and Poopy Pluribus. Remember to like.
Well, no.
Remember to dislike, you know. Gotta the reverse psychology.
Yeah.
Remember to hate, and also remember to donate 50 grand or 40 grand, and then let's call it 30 grand to Hull, so he will read through all of the Communist Manifesto on stream.
Need more of these readings.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go donate 2,000 right now.
Get rid. Oh no. Yeah. Okay. I'm fine with 2 grand. Get ready for the GHN election specials that we're going to be running all the way through the election season. If any of you want to be special co-hosts, drop Hull a message, because he's a cool dude, and he definitely won't steal your children. So yeah, I think I can wrap us up here in a blunt, and Lucas can smoke us.
Yeah. No, that's pretty much it.
Okay. So goodbye from me. Goodbye. Goodbye from Lucas.
Oh, you're speaking for us now.
It's
Say goodbye, Lucas.
Oh, goodbye. Yeah. Wait, what? Goodbye. Yes.
Now everybody else say goodbye.
Good night, folks.
Good night.
Night.
Thanks for watching.
Make sure to dislike and
Dislike,
Yeah.
unsubscribe.
Ian and Jacob. They're not leaving my my basement.
Oh yes, I get to be president finally.
Hey, you think you're leaving? I'm gonna kill everyone until I'm president. I'm in the list somewhere.
It's gonna go full designated survivor.
I'll escape real quick.
Lucas is too baked to even know how to. Yeah, because he's just wrapped us all up in a blunt and smoked us all. Okay.
Yes.
Everybody. Communist Manifesto, 30 grand, 40 grand. Send it my way. Good night.
Good night.
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 See you.
Night. Tararbit.
When I'm lonely in the dark, I know you are with me. Yeah. Don't you see that I need you so much? Don't you see that I love you so much? Oh na 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 na, oh na na na, darling, I need your love. Oh na 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 na, oh na na na, darling, I need your love. When I'm lonely in the dark, I know you are with me. Yeah. Don't you see that I need you so much? Don't you see that I love you so much? Oh na 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 na, oh na na na, darling, I need your love. Oh na 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 na, oh na na na.
Send Hull loads of money. You know he wants it. Send Hull all of the money so he'll read the Communist Manifesto for you all.
I get